Oh, it's horrible. Oh, I hate that. Jeebus Christmas, that's scary.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir David, and today I'm going to play the demo of a game called Mother's Favorite. I've started dreaming again. In my dreams, I feel safe from everything waiting for me when I wake up. I can't remember the last time I had a dream like this. My memory has gotten so bad, it could have been weeks, months, or maybe even years since the last one. Although they bring me comfort, I know that I shouldn't be having these dreams. The medical reports say that most patients started having vivid dreams and hallucinations right before the virus entered its final stage. Uh-oh. Less than a month later, every single case resulted in death. I think tomorrow is going to be my last birthday. Mother says I should be grateful, since most infected individuals would be given anything to live half as long as I have. 18 years doesn't exactly feel like much of an accomplishment. I was born here, aboard the quarantine station 388SR. This place is devoid of other patients, and the staff is fully automated. I've lived my whole life without seeing another person like me. Mother says that this station was built to house over 3,000 people, offering round-the-clock hospice care until a cure could be found. This place was supposed to be the sanctuary for those awaiting a brighter future. But everyone else is dead now. I'm all that's left. While I still have time, I keep dreaming about my lake. I don't know how many times I've had this exact dream, but I never get tired of it. Everything about it feels so real, from the warm sun on my skin to the soft sand in between my toes. I can feel a gentle breeze caressing my face, and I can hear the rustling of leaves all around me. I open my eyes and I can see it, the only thing in the whole universe I deem worthy of the word perfect. In my dreams, I'm standing on the shore of a vast lake. The water is dark and deep, reflecting the golden rays coming from the setting sun, peeking just over the distant tree line. I'm hypnotized by the noise each crashing wave creates, lost in the chaotic wall of white noise. It drowns out all the awful thoughts that normally buzz around in my brain. There are no claustrophobic rooms, no blinking lights, and no rattling old air filters. In every direction, the world sprawls infinitely, a canvas of hazy colors ablaze in the sun. In my dreams, I'm free. Eventually, I'm going to have to wake up. I'll go back to the biting, metallic cold that permeates deep into my bones, where it settles into my blood like a poison. Sometimes when I'm feeling brave, I pretend that this isn't a dream. I entertain the idea that this might actually be a memory. It's dangerous to pretend like that, not when it comes to my own memories. My sickness comes with a long list of horrible symptoms: fatigue, nausea, migraines, anemia, seizures, frequent bruising and bleeding. But worst of all is the memory loss. Each day I can feel it getting worse. I can still remember the big things, important stuff like my name, my birthday, my favorite color. My name is Fourth, my birthday is tomorrow, and my favorite color is orange. That stuff is easy. What hurts the most is all the little things I don't even realize I'm forgetting. I lay on my bed and struggle to remember what happened a year ago, a month ago, sometimes even what happened just the day before. Every night it feels like there's a tiny hole in the back of my head, and everything that makes me human is dripping out onto the floor. One drop might not seem like the end of the universe, but some nights I swear I can feel the empty, echoing space inside my skull where a person used to be. I don't want the dream to end. I don't want to wake up for another day on this stupid station. I don't want to smile like a good little girl and act like nothing has gone horribly wrong with my family. What do I want? I could always say that I don't want to die, but I know that isn't an option anymore. The sickness is getting worse. My dreams are proof of that. The one thing I want more than anything else in the universe is to see my lake once before I lose myself entirely. It doesn't have to be the exact same lake in my dream. I don't even think that lake truly exists. It's just a collection of images I've seen in drawings and photos. But somewhere out there in the vastness of space is a lake. A place where I can let myself fade away and die happy. I'm going to find my lake, and I'm going to get off this station. My dream starts to fade, and I brace myself for what comes next. The first of 3 morning alarms go off, so I rub the sleep from my eyes and get out of bed. In the dark, I change out of my pajamas and put them down the dirty clothes chute. By the time I come back to my room, my pajamas will be waiting for me, clean and ready to wear again. I open my closet and pull out the only outfit I'm permitted to wear, a large, fluffy dress with a button-up blouse and long flowing shawl to wrap around my arms. No matter how dirty or damaged my outfit gets during the day, it reappears in my closet each morning, cleaned and fully repaired. I actually started ripping up my dress on purpose to get my hands on any fabric or thread I might need later. It proved very useful for making my own bandages, especially whenever Mother refuses to treat my wounds. My hand instinctively goes to my right shoulder, the muscle still sore from what happened last time. The injury happened over a week ago, but the pain is still fresh in my mind. I've read the manuals for each of the other caretakers. Directly harming a patient is supposed to be forbidden, but I guess Mother doesn't have to listen to those rules anymore. Uh-oh. The next step in my morning routine is to take my weight and vitals. I step up to a small metal dais and place my hands on the round metal device. A small beep lets me know the scan is complete. After that, I head to the bathroom. The second alarm goes off, warning me that I only have a few minutes until little brother comes to collect me. The lights switch on, and I am able to see my own face in the bathroom mirror. Pretty! I know you're being held captive here, but I want to wear that dress. It's so pretty! It almost looks like she's dressed up like a doll that's trapped in a dollhouse. I quickly brush my teeth and wash my face in the sink. I take some time to look into the mirror, at the sad, tired stranger who looks back at me. I take a deep breath and practice one of the many fake smiles I'll have to wear today. Good morning, little brother. How are you this morning? I clear my throat and try again, more sincerely this time. Good morning, little brother. How are you this morning? That should be good enough. No matter how I'm feeling inside, my behavior has to remain as polite as possible. This is exhausting. I risk pulling up my sleeve to look at the ugly bruise on my shoulder, a grim reminder of why I can't let my emotions show again. Mother doesn't like it when I... The third alarm goes off, startling me out of my thoughts. I can already hear little brother calling me from outside my bedroom door. Oh, Fourth! My darling sister! Guess what time it is? I'll be right there, little brother. My voice is already shaky. I know little brother won't hurt me, but that doesn't mean I can't let my guard down around him. I walk to the front door and straighten up my dress. I take in one last deep breath right as the door hisses open. A large blue robot dashes into the room, his spindly arms flailing about to keep his balance. Oh, he's precious! My little robotic Oni-chan. Good morning to my incredible sister, Fourth. It is me, your favorite little brother. Good morning, little brother. How are you this morning? I am just peachy now that I get to see you, Fourth. Are you ready for another fun-filled day of safe, recreational activities? My smile feels a little less forced whenever I talk to little brother. His enthusiasm might feel a little fake, but he doesn't seem to know any other way to act. Aww. The tiny plaque on the back of his head tells me that he is a G7 long-term medical care companion unit. His specific model is designed for infant and child entertainment and enrichment. His job is to watch over me during the day and report any changes in my health to Mother. I have to watch what I say around him, just in case. Of course, little brother. I'm ready when you are. Oh boy, this is going to be a great day, just like yesterday, and just like tomorrow. Well, not exactly like tomorrow, right? I am sorry, Fourth. I did not understand what you just said. Please clarify your statement. Tomorrow is my birthday. I thought we were going to have a party, like we always do. Now I understand. Of course we are going to do something special for your birthday. Exactly 17 years, 364 days, 6 hours and 10 minutes ago, I got introduced to the best little sister in the whole wide universe. I will never forget how small and loud you were. You are much larger and much quieter now. I am so proud of you. Thank you for the compliment. You are very welcome, my darling little Fourth. Have you ever found it odd that you're technically older than me, but we still call you little brother? Oh, Fourth, you are so silly. Even if I am older than you, I will always be your fun and lovable little brother. We better get moving before Auntie starts to wonder what is taking us so long. Auntie? With that, little brother zooms out of my room and down the hallway towards the kitchen. I guess they don't have knocking in this spaceship. I try to mimic his enthusiasm and follow after him. The floors of the space station are always cold, and it bites at the soles of my feet as we walk. There are no windows in any of the rooms I'm permitted to explore, and the flickering lights overhead turn everything a washed-out shade of blue. They don't give you no shoes? Each hallway is an identical gray metal tube. Every room is the same little claustrophobic box. Nothing ever changes here. Nothing except me. In my mind, the lake is always moving. The crashing waves, the swaying trees, and the billowing clouds. It all breathes in a way that the station never could. For a moment, I start to close my eyes. My lake slowly comes into focus through the dark. Fourth, are you listening? I just asked you a question. What? Oh, My heart rate picks up as a hint of panic crawls up my throat. During my little daydream, I completely missed what little brother had just said. I was just thinking about... Is something the matter, my dear Fourth? You are speaking in an unorthodox manner. Should I tell him about my dreams? No! Anything I tell little brother might end up in his next report to Mother. Maybe I should just stay quiet about this. Nope, keep it to yourself. I'm peachy keen, everything's fine. I open my mouth, but no sound comes out. Little brother monitors every little aspect of my behavior. I don't think I should be talking about something so strange. You're just excited for your birthday. That's all. Mother might change my medications again, and that would mean a whole new round of awful side effects. I remember the time I kept telling knock-knock jokes, and she said I was acting too hyper. The medication she gave me right after that caused the worst headaches I'd ever had. Fourth? Oh, I was just thinking about... my birthday. That is only logical. Birthdays only come once a year. Thank you for telling me what was on your mind. It is my directive to monitor all changes in your behavior. I appreciate your honesty. Yeah. We keep walking until we reach the door to the kitchen. Enjoy your breakfast, my darling baby sister. I will be right outside the door if you need anything. Thank you, little brother. With that, little brother steps into his charging station next to the door and goes silent. The hallway suddenly feels very empty without little brother's cheerful beeping. I straighten up my dress and walk into the kitchen. As soon as I walk through the door, I'm hit with the smell of cold, wet vegetables and fresh blood. Blood? Blood from where? There's only me and robots on this thing. Where'd you get the blood? I didn't have time to properly prepare myself, and I have to resist gagging a little. Even though Auntie calls this room her kitchen, not a lot of cooking actually happens here. The pots and pans hanging on the wall have never been used, and all the big industrial stovetops don't have any power. In fact, the only thing that works in here is the gigantic sink, and only for drinking water. Auntie's food synthesizers do all the cooking, so this room has always felt a little redundant to me. There are 2 doors in the kitchen. One leads back to the hallway I just came from. The other leads towards the atrium and Big Sister's side of the station. A large chute in the middle of the dining table slides open, and with a series of excited beeps, Auntie flies into the room.
Oh,
Welcome back, Fourth. I hope you have been a good girl and properly digested everything I served you yesterday. Yes, Auntie, I'm ready for another delicious meal with you. Oh, Fourth, you know just what to say to make this old robot feel brand new. I will take extra care to make sure this next meal is especially nutritious, just for you. I mean, I was going to make your breakfast nutritious either way, but we can both pretend that this particular meal is a little more special than normal. No harm in that, right? Thank you, Auntie. I can't wait. While I might not be too thrilled about her cooking, I can't bring myself to hate Auntie. Her programming seems to be a little simpler than any of my other caretakers, and that makes her feel just a bit more honest. Model 626F food processor. She knows how to make food healthy, but that's about it. She doesn't know how to make it taste good.
so you mean to tell me you've probably lived 18 years without tasting French fries?
I sit down on one of the stools in front of the table. I adjust my dress so the back of my calves don't touch the cold metal legs.
Get this girl some leggings or something. Ugh.
All right, Fourth. Have a look at our menu and tell me what sounds particularly nutritious to you. Take your time. I mean, you only have 14 minutes and 11 seconds left until breakfast is over, but that is not something I am too concerned about. You have always been such a reliable eater. A small digital screen appears in front of Auntie's food synthesizer, giving me some rather unappetizing options.
Aw, would you like the green mush or the gray mush? I think I'll try the pink mush today.
It doesn't really matter what I pick. I'll just have to eat one of the other options for my lunch later today.
Plain yogurt, boiled sweet potato, or sardine paste? You poor dear. Boiled sweet potato seems like a good breakfast.
I'll go with the boiled sweet potatoes. Absolutely, Fourth. Coming right up. As her food synthesizer powers up, Auntie emits a cheerful little jingle. I can't help but smile and hum along to the familiar tune. There's a shudder, followed by an unsettling rattling noise from inside Auntie's food synthesizer. Everything all right, Auntie? No worries. I am just mixing in some vitamin paste to keep it part of this balanced breakfast.
Oh, how delicious. Oh, Auntie, you shouldn't have.
With a loud squishing noise, a neon green sludge emerges from her synthesizer. It smells like sweaty clothes and drips over the side of the plate where it splatters all over the floor. I don't think sweet potatoes are usually so green. Yeah, that one is on me. I think I added too many leaves in with that sweet potato root. Do not worry, it is still edible. Her other arm transforms into a spoon and floats over for me to use. I try to maintain a smile as I take my first bite.
You are a braver lass than I.
It tastes more like leaves than it does sweet potatoes. The texture is stringy and the fibers are very hard to chew through. I think I can even taste a few pieces of dirt that grind against my teeth. Oh, you poor baby. This is very earthy. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Fourth. I can always count on you to appreciate my cooking. I hurry and eat the rest of my breakfast in silence. When it's finally gone, Auntie's food synthesizer begins to clean itself. Little jets of soapy water shoot out and wipe down the plate. How was your breakfast, Fourth?
Adequate.
That is a totally acceptable reaction. That breakfast should provide the exact amount of calories you need until lunchtime and not a teaspoon more. You have fun digesting, and I'll see you in exactly 4 hours and 45 minutes. With that, Auntie floats down into her metal chute and disappears.
Thank you, Auntie.
Apparently, Auntie tends to some sort of greenhouse beneath the kitchen.
What was the smell of blood from?
Auntie tends to some sort of greenhouse beneath the kitchen, but I've never seen it. All of the food I eat is produced on the lower level. I've always wanted to know what it looks like. Maybe it's like a tiny farm, with all the vegetables growing in cute little rows. I've seen pictures of farms in my books. Auntie also grows a lot of meat for me, so she must have some sort of hatchery for all the fish she forces me to eat.
Well, I guess fish is good for you.
I have a few minutes until little brother comes to fetch me. After breakfast, he'll take me to the playroom for the next few hours. I wash the horrible taste out of my mouth by drinking directly from the sink faucet. All of the water in the station is recycled, so it has a strange metallic taste that I've always hated. Fourth, dear, are you ready to go? Be right there, little brother. I take one last gulp of water before I go. It's time for little brother to escort me to our next activity. Here we are, Fourth, my favorite place in the whole station. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see what sort of safe and enjoyable activities you choose today. I can't share little brother's enthusiasm for the playroom anymore. I might have liked this room at some point in the past, but now I feel just a little too big for all of this. The chairs in here are built for a toddler, so I have to hug my knees to my chest to fit. Aww. The walls are padded and the tables are made of rubber with rounded corners. Large screens hang high up on the walls, displaying fun math and science facts, along with cartoony images of the station that play on a loop. Yeah, I can't wait either. I am glad that you agree. Would you like to play catch with me, or have some quiet drawing time? About that. What is wrong, Fourth? Don't you think that I'm too old for all these toys and stuff? I pick up one of the plastic cars little brother built and roll it around in my hand. The plastic is so soft that I can leave dents on its surface just by squeezing it. Goodness. I do not understand what you just said. These toys are perfectly suited for a human child between the ages of 4 and 17 years. Well, tomorrow I'll be 18, so maybe we could do something different? You bring up a very good point, Fourth. Tomorrow, you will indeed be 18 years old, and I will have to draft new activities suited for your age. But for today, you are still within the acceptable age bracket, and we will spend one last day enjoying ourselves. I can wait one more day. I was hoping that little brother might allow me to decide my own activities in the future. I might be able to trick him into giving me more privileges. If I can leave the playroom, or better yet, explore without a chaperone, I might find something to help me escape. The best I can do right now is play along. I have a feeling that not a lot of scheming is going to get done this morning. I could play catch with little brother, maybe use the game as an excuse to go out into the hall. It would be easy to turn playtime into a chance for exploration. Plus, a chance to stretch my legs sounds pretty good right now. Or, I could use my drawing time to plan ahead. Writing things down helps me remember them better, and I have some ideas I want to put onto paper. I think drawing out plans would be good, because she said she struggles with memory, so anything I do out in the hall might get forgotten, maybe, so let's draw out your plans. I think I'd like to stay here and draw for a bit on my own. You got it. I will print out some paper for you right away. The table in front of me makes a whirring noise, and a few sheets of paper appear from a small black slit on the side. I used to get normal paper, but I got a paper cut once, so little brother switched to soft canvas paper after that. Goodness, it's yellowed and a bit harder to draw on, but it's not like I have any other options. Geez. Little brother unlocks one of the cabinets and hands me a large box of wax crayons.
Enjoy your quiet drawing time. I will be right outside the door if you need anything.
The door closes behind him, and I hear the heavy lock sliding back into place. I can't leave, but at least I can have some time to myself. I grab a crayon and begin drawing a map of the station. I draw all of the rooms I can remember in green, then trace the hallways in blue. For the rooms and halls I don't have access to, I draw a red X. Pretty soon, my entire map is covered in red marks. Is this really my whole world? Just a handful of rooms and some long empty hallways? This station is supposed to be huge, acting as a home for thousands of potential patients. There has to be a door somewhere that leads to the rest of the station that I just haven't found yet. My head starts to buzz the longer I stare at this pathetic little map. I fold up the paper and stuff it into my dress. The big fluffy material of my dress is perfect for hiding anything I want to smuggle back to my room. The map should be safe and secure. I can check my map whenever I want, even if it just shows a bunch of dead ends. There isn't much else for me to do, so I start doodling to pass the time. At first, all I can draw is a picture of my own sad face. Once I get bored of that, I start making some sketches of little brother, auntie, and big sister. I make sure to label each one with today's date, and I write a few notes about how I'm feeling on the back. It's important to write my thoughts down since my memory has gotten so bad recently. I start to drift back to my dream, and without realizing it, I start drawing my lake. My boredom starts to lift as I lose myself in the details. I mix oranges and yellows to get the sun's reflection on the water just right. I fleck the dark green trees with bits of white to add in little pine needles, and I fill the sky with creamy reds and purples. Ooh! A smile grows on my face as I hold the drawing out in front of me. This is the closest I will ever get to a photograph of my lake. I flip the drawing over and add today's date. I write down, last night, I dreamt about my lake again. I will be there for real one day. One day. My smile fades a little when I realize just how wishfully I'm thinking right now. I fold up the drawing of my lake and hide it in my dress. It almost feels warm against my skin. I take one last deep breath of the imaginary lake air. The stale smell of dust and old crayons brings me back to reality. With nothing left to do, I sit on the floor and hurl my crayons at the wall, one after another. While they hit the wall, they don't break. They just splatter and stick like a big wall of snot. I pick up my toys and hurl them as well. A blue truck splatters against the wall, and two of its wheels go rolling in opposite directions. Why are all these toys so breakable? It doesn't matter how many toys I break. Little brother just synthesizes new ones each morning. I think he uses the same recycled material that Auntie uses for some of her food. Once, when I was bored enough, I tried eating the crayons, and they tasted remarkably like Auntie's pasta noodles. I sometimes steal a few crayons just in case I get hungry at night. Jeez! Since it's the last day I'll ever use these, I kick the stupid little baby chairs over and over until they snap in half. I can see that they are made of the same synthesized material on the inside. Maybe this will motivate little brother to make a chair that actually fits me. This childish act of destruction makes me feel a little better, which is a nice change of pace. While the playroom is in ruins, I wait by the door until it's time for lunch. Not the most productive morning, but it could have been a lot worse.
Hey, Auntie.
Lunch is thankfully uneventful. I end up eating plain yogurt this time. Something must have gotten stuck in Auntie's synthesizer, because large chunks of old tofu end up floating in my yogurt.
Oh.
Auntie offers no explanation or an apology, so I just eat the watery mess without complaint.
Lady, let me take you out of here and get you some New York pizza.
Auntie bids me farewell, and I wait by the second door for little brother to come pick me up. We walk down the hallway until we arrive at the glass doors leading to the atrium. The atrium divides the port and starboard sections of the living quarters, and is where I start the second half of my day with Big Sister.
Have fun with Big Sister. I will see you at dinner time.
Understood, little brother. With that, little brother steps into another charging station, and the atrium doors unlock. I step into the atrium and take a moment to relax. The atrium is one of the nicer rooms in the station. The lamps overhead create artificial sunlight, and plastic plants are arranged to resemble a field of grass.
Ooh.
Pretty! Speakers hidden inside styrofoam boulders play a white noise that is supposed to sound like wind.
Ooh.
If I try really hard, I can almost buy into the illusion. Mostly, I just like how warm the atrium is compared to the rest of the station. The glass door on the other side of the room opens, and Big Sister approaches with heavy, ponderous steps.
Fourth, we will be heading directly to the library. I will hear no complaints on the matter. Do you understand?
Of course, Big Sister.
Very good. We have much to do today. Forward march!
Yes, ma'am. Big Sister has always been harder to read than my other caretakers. She never says more than she needs to, and she rarely diverts from her baseline programming. She is an OCP-7 security drone, and she takes her job very seriously. During the day, I often see her patrolling different sections of the ship, and at night, I sometimes hear her walking around outside my door. I don't mind spending time with Big Sister, but I rarely feel fully comfortable around her. She doesn't try to cheer me up like little brother, and she doesn't joke around like auntie. Most of the time, she's just quiet. Big Sister escorts me to the library and directs me to my desk in the center of the room. The computers here store thousands of digital books for me to read, and Big Sister tutors me about a different subject each day. Big Sister teaches me about grammar, science, mathematics, and galactic history. After each lesson, she prints out a stack of worksheets for me to complete.
I like Big Sister's voice. It's very comforting to my ears. Today's assignment is a multiple-choice quiz. You have until 6 p.m. to finish and submit it for grading. Any additional time left over can be used for quiet reading and review. Do you have any questions or concerns about this assignment?
No, Big Sister. I believe I can handle it.
Very good. I expect nothing less from you. And one more thing.
Yes, Big Sister.
I was hoping you and I could... You might notice that today's worksheet is a few pages longer than normal. If you are able to complete all of it today, there will be additional free time allotted tomorrow.
You mean I would get to end class early tomorrow? I don't remember you ever letting class end before it was supposed to.
Well, it has been 8 months and 22 days since I got to spend any time off duty with you and little brother. That was the day we made a scavenger hunt for you in the atrium.
I had almost forgotten about that day. Big Sister printed off fun facts and hid them all over the atrium. It wasn't that hard to find them all, but it was at least something different.
I noticed that little brother was submitting requests for new morning activities with you, and I wanted to do the same. More group activities might be beneficial to your mental health. If you would like, I can arrange for Auntie to serve your birthday lunch as a picnic in the atrium. Does that sound nice?
Oh, that actually sounds wonderful. It would be a great way to celebrate my birthday. Are you sure Mother would approve? She doesn't like it when we leave our designated areas without...
Contacting Mother now. Request pending.
Ooh. She goes silent, and I can hear a series of beeps as she sends a signal to Mother. No, you don't have to do that. We can do something else for my birthday. What if Mother comes down to the library because of this? There's only one door and not a lot of places I could hide. What would she do to me if...
She said no.
I'm sorry, Big Sister. I really would have loved to have a picnic with you.
Mother said no. There is no point in continuing this conversation. We have wasted enough time with frivolities. You have work to do.
She steps away and promptly plugs herself into her charging station before I can say anything else. What was that all about? For a minute there, Big Sister was acting nice. I can't remember the last time she showed me this much emotion. I have to bury my disappointment and focus on the task at hand. The sooner I finish this worksheet, the better, and who knows, there is a chance I could still get some time off tomorrow, even without the picnic. Luckily, today's worksheet isn't anything too complicated. It's just a few dozen pages of astrophysics and 20 pages of dynamic molecular theory.
Easy stuff. Easy.
I use a black crayon to fill in the bubbles next to the right answer. Things like numbers and figures have always come easy to me, even with my bad memory. Big Sister makes me study so thoroughly, I can usually remember most of this stuff. Even if I forget the smaller details of a lesson, the bigger picture still remains. I can almost see the numbers and equations lining up all on their own. I finished the worksheet in only half an hour. Maybe Big Sister made this worksheet easier than normal as an early birthday present. I look over at her, but she hasn't moved from her charging station. She seemed really disappointed when Mother rejected her picnic idea. For a moment, I thought Big Sister actually missed spending time with me. I know she's a robot, but for a moment, I wanted to believe her concern was genuine. Either way, her little outburst of kindness had left me more confused than ever. I try to shake this feeling off and move on. I feed my worksheet into the slot and wait for the machine to process the results. A small screen appears to show me how many questions I got correct. 100% correct? I can't help but feel a little proud about this. Now that I'm done, I'm free to use my computer until dinner time. I touch the screen and boot up the applications. Normally, I like playing the company's memory games, since they help me clear my mind. Big Sister uses my scores from these games to help track my mental health. The better I do, the more privileges she lets me have after class. There is also a textbook ready for me to read. Big Sister approves my reading material ahead of time and downloads it onto my computer. Today, it seems like she picked out a medical textbook on biological cell growth under specific atmospheric conditions. I'm pretty sure I've read this one before, and I'm already bored from reading the synopsis alone. Either option would be a good exercise for my memory, and either would offer a decent way to pass the time until dinner. I tap the screen and make my choice.
It could be wrong, but I think I'm going to go with the medical book, because maybe Big Sister put something in that book for me to read that she wants me to see, because she knows I've already read it before.
I click on the icon for the reading app, and a digital version of the medical textbook appears on my screen. At one point, Big Sister used to print out the books for me, but Mother said it was a waste of materials. Looking at the first page, I'm certain that I've read this exact same book before. I guess Big Sister must have just selected it at random. I let out a frustrated sigh and started reading anyway. The writing style is so dry and straightforward that I can feel my eyelids growing heavy. Part of me wishes I could read something like this in bed. I would fall asleep instantly. The textbook talks about various kinds of cell division and the different effects atmospheric conditions have on their development. I flip through page after page of diagrams and old black and white photos. There are 20 pages, back to back, just about one species of mold. I almost give up once it starts talking about cancer cells. I've read all of this before, and there's absolutely nothing interesting in... I pause for a moment, looking at the page count in the corner of the screen. The computer says that I'm on page 47, but the number printed on the page says 53. I push the back button to check that the previous pages lined up correctly. The computer says 46, and so does the print on the actual page. Curious, I click ahead a few pages and see that the page numbers line up again after page 48. There has to be some sort of error here. Maybe a file got uploaded out of order or something like that. I clicked ahead until the end of the textbook and see that no other pages are ordered incorrectly. For some strange reason, only page 47 is out of place. Even stranger still, it appears to be a page from an entirely different textbook. This one looks much older. The scan indicates a bunch of scratches, stains, and yellowing on the physical paper itself. I start reading through the new page, curious about where it originally came from. The tone of the writing is completely different, more like a direct report from field observations. The text is smudged and harder to read, but I think I can understand it well enough. Olipsan Squadron was the first to report contact with the anomaly 7 days after initial scans pinpointed its location. Olipsan proved instrumental in retrieving live samples of the virus for further analysis under orders from Commander Liliana. The amount of cellular growth recorded breaks all previous records extracted from Paragon crystals. Early reports indicated that the subject was simply a more malignant form of the Paragon virus, but further testing showed no similarities. The gestation period of this strain results in a far more potent concentration, and the side effects develop at 10 times the average rate. To quote Commander Liliana, the potential for these samples are limitless and beyond anything we could have feared. As of writing, there has been no consensus from our board of investors. Interviews with surviving infected individuals yielded no new information. Those who survived initial infection did not retain normal cognitive functions past stage 4 and were quarantined until further notice. The report ends there, accompanied by a few grainy photos of normal-looking mammalian cells. A series of time-lapse photos shows them replicating with small defects, growing more pronounced with each stage. My brain is buzzing, trying to understand what this information could possibly mean, when a sudden noise makes me jump out of my seat. I turn around, expecting to see Big Sister unplugging from her charging station, but when I look at her, I can see that she hasn't moved at all. Hey, Big Sister? I think something is wrong with the computer. To my surprise, Big Sister doesn't move. Normally, she boots back up whenever I call her name. There's a strange feeling growing in my gut, like something is about to go very wrong. Is Big Sister pretending not to hear me? I have to wonder if she put this extra page in today's book on purpose. I think she did. Is she not allowed to acknowledge that something is different? I look back at the screen, trying to decipher what information Big Sister wants me to glean from this new page. I've never seen this name Liliana before. Or is that Iliana? I think it's Iliana. In any of my history textbooks, and no medical textbook has ever mentioned a Paragon virus. Is Big Sister trying to slip me some secret message? Somewhere in my mind, a memory starts to emerge out of the fog. This isn't the first time Big Sister has done something for me in secret. I can remember it now. A long time ago, Mother had gotten particularly angry with me. She sent me to bed without any dinner, which upset Auntie to no end. I remember crying in my room, scared and hungry. But then, my bedroom door opened, and there was a small box of black crayons sitting on the ground. I knew Big Sister left them there, because I could hear her loud footsteps echoing down the hall. Oh, that's a Big Sister right there. That's a Big Sister, sneaking snacks to your punished siblings. I was so hungry that I ate the entire box of those gross recycled crayons, and my whole mouth got stained black. They tasted about the same as Auntie's usual cooking, but they were better than nothing. The next day, I tried to thank Big Sister, but she kept insisting that she did no such thing. No matter how much I pressed her on the subject, she kept denying it. Every now and then, she is actually capable of... Uh-oh. Lost in my memories, I'm surprised to see Big Sister standing right next to me. I hadn't even heard her walk over. I look at the screen, only to see that the report is gone, replaced by the original page 47. Our time is up. We need to get ready for your dinner. Big Sister, did you notice anything unusual about today's reading material? I am sorry, Fourth. I did not understand what you just said.
Please clarify your statement.
Just as I suspected, she's acting like nothing happened. I smile a little and stand up from my desk. Sorry, it's nothing. I was just thinking about my disease and how little I actually know about my own condition.
Mother does not want us discussing too many details about your illness. She wants to avoid causing you any unnecessary stress.
Yeah, I understand.
Very good. I expect nothing less from you. Boots on the ground, soldier. We are moving out.
Understood, ma'am. The library door unlocks, and we walk back to the kitchen in silence. I stare at Big Sister the entire way back, still not sure what to think about her actions today.
I like Big Sister. They're all very sweet. Sure do hope nothing horrible happens to them.
Dinner is my favorite time of the day. Not because of the food, but because this is the only time of day everyone gets to be together in the same room. Aww. When I sit down on my stool, I can feel my map crinkle slightly inside my dress. I have to be careful not to drop it. Little brother is sitting on a stool next to me. His feet are too short to reach the floor, so he swings them back and forth while humming to himself. Big Sister stands watch by the exit. Fire safety regulations dictate that the kitchen doesn't have locking doors, so it's her job to make sure I don't leave. She keeps trying to cross her arms, but she doesn't quite have the range of motion to do so properly.
Oh, ho, ho. Well, that looks appetizing.
For dinner, Auntie synthesizes a large pile of meat, then heats up her serving plate to cook it. I can't complain, since this is easily the best thing she can make. If it wasn't for how strictly she enforces the other food groups, I would want to eat meat for every meal. Auntie doesn't season the meat at all, but I read in a book once that human tears contain salt. I used to make myself cry onto my dinner, just to make it taste better, but I stopped when Auntie got too worried about me.
You did it. Seasoning your food with your own tears? Somebody get this girl out of here. Take this girl to Texas Roadhouse or something.
Once her plate is cooled down enough, I can begin eating. I take a few big bites and savor the food as best as I can. After a long day, this is exactly what I need.
Cheers to another wonderful day. I cannot wait to see what new adventures tomorrow brings. Have you given any thought to what you want for your birthday tomorrow? Each of us has one birthday present privilege to use on your behalf. You want new activities for the playroom, correct? I came up with 108 new ideas that I have been submitting to Mother every hour on the hour. She has turned down all of them so far. But that just means I've got to try even harder.
I could submit a request for more botanical allowances. I have been researching the concept of spices, and I bet I could grow some pretty healthy new plants.
I remember how much you like those fictional books we used to have in the library. I bet I could convince Mother to unban a few, especially with how good your test scores have been.
You guys, those are all such wonderful ideas.
What about your own present privilege? Do not forget that you are allowed one request for yourself.
I'd almost forgotten about that. So many previous birthdays have already faded from my mind. I can't remember a single present privilege that Mother actually approved. I think I asked for a new hairbrush once, and she allowed that. I don't know where that hairbrush went. Maybe she took it back the next time I misbehaved. I know deep down what I want for my birthday. I want my lake. I want to go far away from here and leave all of this pain behind. Unfortunately, honesty is something that only makes Mother angrier. I'll have to give them a more diplomatic answer this time.
Better drawing supplies? They seem okay. More options for meals? Maybe books in the bedroom? Yeah.
I close my eyes and clear my head. As much as I love my caretakers, I have to keep playing the part they expect from me.
I was just thinking about how nice it would be to bring books with me out of the library.
I have some time between dinner and lights out to myself, and I wouldn't mind being able to read before I go to sleep.
Absolutely not. As stated in Safety Protocol 426-LV, no flammable materials are permitted within sleeping quarters of any crew member.
Oh, come off your high horse. We switched to canvas cycles ago. We could soak all the pages in water first, if you are really that concerned.
Mother has already forbidden frivolous use of the printers. Our collection is fully digitalized and is already secure within the archives.
Well then, just move a monitor into Fourth's bedroom. That way she can read whenever she wants. We can remotely turn it off whenever it is time for lights out.
Then what would the function of the library be? We cannot have two libraries, or a bedroom that is also a library. That is not logical.
I would call that efficiency. We could turn the library into something else, something more useful.
You are very brave to try and tell me what to do with my library. Do you see me trying to take over your playroom?
Oh, go lay an egg. Me and Fourth do not need a whole room just to play. We can get along just fine, no matter where we end up. Big sister and little brother continue their bickering until their voices turn into white noise. Sometimes it's funny to see them fight like this, but I'm not really in the mood right now.
That's so cute. That's absolutely adorable.
The caretakers stay totally silent while I finish my meal. My daily schedule is always the same. Mornings with little brother, meals with auntie, and the afternoons with big sister. The last thing I do before bedtime is my nightly medical checkup. There's no avoiding what comes next. The second I eat my last bite, dinner will end, and I will have to go see Mother. At one point, I used to eat my dinners as quickly as possible. I just wanted to get it all over with so I could spend the rest of my evening alone in my room. But after a while, I started eating slower and slower. Even if this happiness is fake, I want to exist in this moment for just a little while longer. I can pretend that me and my caretakers are a real family. Little brother will do something silly, and I'll just roll my eyes. Auntie will say something weird to make me laugh, and big sister will fail to hide how much she really cares. A life like that would have been boring, but at least it would have been safe. I stare into their blinking electronic faces. Their screens all show happy little smiles, but their eyes are just as empty as every other piece of machinery aboard this station. Maybe if I keep forgetting, I can go back to a time where I believed that they actually loved me. The moment I finish dinner, they're going to take me away from this happy fantasy. Time to be a big girl, Fourth. You're going to have to face Mother sooner or later. I take the last bite, and my caretakers all spring into action. Without another word, Auntie disinfects the plate and vanishes into her chute. Little brother hops off his stool and darts past big sister out into the hallway.
Fourth, it is time to go.
I let out a long sigh and try my best to ignore the angry buzzing growing behind my eyes. I'm ready to go see Mother now. I think little brother is trying to talk to me, but his words don't make it all the way to my ears. I just stare down at the floor, forcing my legs to keep carrying me forward. Eventually, they lead me to the intersection in front of my bedroom. The floor is coated with so many layers of dried brown blood that it nearly looks black.
Why is there blood?
Other fluid splatters reach all the way up the walls, forming little stalactites of yellowed crust.
What?
Every other part of the station gets cleaned at night, but not this place. I think the other caretakers are too scared to do anything about the mess.
Why is there a bunch of blood splattered in this ship? In fact, why was there a blood smell in the kitchen?
Enjoy your checkup, Fourth. Once you are done, I will escort you the rest of the way to your room.
I will see you tomorrow afternoon, Fourth. Good night.
With that, I'm left alone. As I wait, my body feels cold and my heart is starting to hammer against my rib cage. If I try to run, Mother will just hurt me even worse. Something is wrong with Mother. The caretakers won't acknowledge it, no matter how many times I bring it up. I have no memory left of what she used to look like before she became what she is now. It's like something awful is growing inside of her, replacing what used to be my mother piece by piece. She might have been a robot long ago, but not anymore. Now, she's just a monster. I hate Mother more than anything else on this awful station. If my life was just boring, I could learn to live with that. But she makes everything so much worse. There's nothing I can do now but wait for it all to be over.
Oh dear.
In the ceiling above me, I can hear a horrible metallic scraping noise, accompanied by the tearing of wet flesh. It echoes through the empty corridors and makes my ears ring. Mother grew too large to use the hallways anymore, so now she travels through the vents in the upper levels, dropping down through access panels cut into the ceiling. Sometimes at night, I can hear her slithering above me, screaming and laughing loud enough to rattle the walls of the station.
Oh, it's horrible. Oh, I hate that. Oh my gosh. Oh. Jeebus Christmas, that's scary. Ugh.
The shutters on the access panel slide away to reveal a gaping black void directly above my head. I can't see her yet, but I know she's there in the darkness. Thick rivers of pus and blood start to pour down through the opening, splashing on the floor around me.
Well, I guess that's where the blood came from.
Her foul stench pierces my nostrils, and I do my best not to gag. I've learnt the hard way not to let any trace of disgust show on my face.
There she is, my beautiful little girl. I was so worried about you.
I take a deep breath to try and calm the fear welling up inside me. Every muscle in my body is telling me to run, but I don't listen. Hello, Mother. I know your time is precious, so I appreciate your presence this evening.
Ah, Mother.
Oh, is that all you have to say to me? I was having such a wonderful day up until now. Doesn't my wonderful little girl have it in her to give me a proper greeting? As her gigantic body coils around me, bits of her begin to fall off in large, wet chunks.
Mother, why do you have so many syringes?
Something that looks like an engorged liver lands with a splat right next to me, spraying my leg with flecks of yellow bile. I am so happy to see you again. My good health is only possible thanks to your constant hard work. Thank you, Mother. I am forever in your debt. It's a start, if nothing else. You really need to work on your compliments, my dear Fourth. Am I not who you love most in the universe? You would have died long ago if not for me. I've saved your life countless times, and what sort of thanks do you show me? Did you have fun today, breaking what your family worked so hard to make for you? What? Don't play stupid with me, little girl. Those toys that little brother made for you. He was so heartbroken when he saw what you did to them. Do you really hate little brother that much? That you'd spit in his face when he does nothing but love you? No, Mother. I love little brother with all my heart. I just thought he was going to... I don't want to hear excuses from you. Because you can't appreciate what you already have, I am denying little brother's birthday request. As a fair and loving parent,
I think that you shouldn't be allowed any new recreational materials until you can appreciate what you already have.
I've smashed my toys dozens of times, and Mother has never once commented on that. She's just using that as an excuse to ignore little brother's requests. I have to quell the anger growing inside of me, or I might say something that really sets Mother off. I am sorry, Mother. I didn't think through my actions. I will do better to stop and think before I act next time. That was rather foolish of me.
Foolish? Such soft words for something so monumentally stupid. I want to hear you say it. Tell me what you are.
I am a stupid little girl who should have known better.
At least you are willing to admit it. I really have raised you well, haven't I? I couldn't help but notice something off today. Something was deleted from Big Sister's archives without administrator permission. You wouldn't happen to know what that was all about, would you? You can be honest with me.
She has to be talking about the hidden page I found in today's reading material. Does Mother monitor my activity on the library computer?
Ugh. I am not sure what you're talking about. There was an oddity with the page count, and I informed Big Sister about it as soon as I noticed. Do you think that makes everything okay? Do you think that a mistake can be so easily forgiven if you just acknowledge that it happened?
No?
A mistake is always someone's fault. If it wasn't Big Sister's fault, then whose was it?
Mine?
One of her mechanical arms moves closer to my face until the sharp metal tip of a syringe is hovering in front of my eye. Speak up, child. You know I hate it when you mumble. Whose fault is it? It's my fault. Entirely my fault. Good. That's what I like to hear. Didn't I teach you that honesty is a virtue?
Yes, you did, Mother.
Very good. It is time for your treatment. You know what to do.
I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then I unbutton the back of my dress. Mother slithers into position behind me, one of her limbs opening up to allow a series of needles to poke through.
Oh!
Fresh blood gushes out from this new opening, coating the mechanical arms in a shiny red paste. She says that my sickness causes a buildup of harmful fluids along my spine. If she doesn't drain them once a day, they could build up and cause nerve or even brain damage.
So Mother is a fan of leech therapy, I see.
Small rubber nodes rub against my back to help line up the needles with my spine. I take a deep breath through my nose and brace myself for the pain.
So many ugly scars. I wonder how you got them. It couldn't have been my fault. My instruments are far too precise. Oh, that's right. You used to squirm around when you were younger. You caused my needles to miss over and over. That's how it happened.
I can hear the mocking tone in her voice as she inserts the needles. White-hot pain shoots through me, and my legs threaten to buckle. I can feel tears welling up in my eyes, and my teeth grind against each other with enough force to hurt my gums. 2 pumps turn on and cause a horrible sucking sensation, nearly causing me to pass out. I can see a viscous yellow liquid passing through the rubber tubes up into Mother's arm. Right as the needles are removed, Mother sprays a cooling medical gel across my back. The pain subsides almost instantly, and I can feel the gel bubbling as it seals up the injection sites. I should be grateful, since Mother doesn't always use the gel afterwards. She doesn't want to waste it on the undeserving, as she puts it.
Very good. You did a wonderful job. I remember how much you used to scream when I did this. You've come a long way. Yes, Mother. Thank you for taking such good care of me. There is an uncomfortable stiffness in my shoulders as I rebutton my dress. The gel might have numbed the pain, but my body is still very sore. All that's left is your medicine. Then you'll be healthy and strong. A single syringe full of a pale turquoise liquid emerges from Mother's arm, and I help guide it into the place above my wrist. The thick needle plunges into my arm and injects me with my medicine. I can feel it entering my muscles where it begins to throb painfully. I feel a little nauseous and fight the urge to vomit. That's all for tonight. Your vitals are within acceptable ranges, and you seem to have no major side effects manifesting. About your birthday tomorrow. Yes, Mother? It's such a strange human tradition, isn't it? Just because you were born on this day doesn't make it any different from any other day. How odd. I assume you haven't changed your mind about what you want to waste your present privileges, have you? You were so vocal at dinner. Why don't you share what's on your mind with dear old Mother? There's something about her tone that tells me she wants to hear a specific response. The anger inside me wants to speak up, to tell her what I really think about this whole charade. But she has so many ways to hurt me. I put a hand on my aching shoulder. Last week she stabbed me there for speaking back and took a large section of skin when she removed the empty syringe. I can't risk making her any more upset than she already is, no matter how badly I want to tell her off. What did I say? I just wanted some books in my room. I just wanted some books. My hands slowly clenched into fists. She can't keep treating me like this. Not if she expects me to stay her perfect little daughter. Even if she hurts me again, I have to tell her what I want. Yeah! We shall both regret this, won't we? I want her to treat me like a real person, not just a patient. I want to be kept in the loop about my treatment and to tell me about what's going on outside the station. I want my lake. I want it bad enough to stand up to her. Yeah! We gonna die! Mother, what I want most of all is... I don't need to hear it. What? You're boring me. Just tell whatever you want to little brother. I'll deny it anyway. I don't have any more time to waste here. Good night, my lovely little fourth. Never doubt how much your mother loves you. I will keep you safe.
You just have to trust me.
Oh boy, well now that nightmare's over, Before I can finish my thought, she's gone. As she squeezes back up through the vent overhead, she sheds a few more sections of rotting flesh. A final wave of blood splashes out from the vent right as it snaps shut. The blood lands in my hair and drips down on my face. Oh! I stand there, too stunned to move at first. Boring. She doesn't even care about what I want, what I think, or what matters to me? I stay rooted in place, covered in her blood, fuming. The day will come. The day will come when you get mad enough to change stuff. Hello again, my darling fourth. I hope your checkup with Mother was both productive and fulfilling. Why do you look like you have murder in your mind, sister? Yeah, it was. I am going to die in this place. It doesn't matter if it's by Mother's hand or from the disease hollowing out my brain. I don't even have the energy to imagine an escape plan anymore. I can feel the weight of resignation slowly suffocating me as I walk back to my bedroom.
I don't know what to do next. There are just too many steps between me and freedom. No way off the station. No way out of the living quarters. No way past Mother. No matter where I go or what I do, Mother is always watching. She's bigger and faster than me, and if she finds out I'm trying to escape, there's no telling what she will do. Even if everything went right, even if I somehow managed to escape, what comes next? I escape just to die somewhere else? Am I really that contagious? If I find other people out there, will they just put me right back in here? Will they try to kill me? What if my sickness kills them first? This whole time little brother has been talking to me. His words don't have any meaning. They just bounce off of me and vanish into thin air. I can feel myself getting angrier and angrier the more he keeps talking. I just want him to stop, to go away, and leave me alone for once. Before I can stop myself, all that bottled anger climbs up out of my throat and finally takes form.
Will you just shut up already? When will you stop acting like everything is fine? How can you possibly be this stupid?
A chill runs across my skin the moment I realize what I just did. I've never spoken to anyone with that much anger before. The words feel like poison coating my mouth.
I am so sorry, Fourth. I did not understand. Oh. I realize now what I did wrong. I am making you unhappy instead of happy. My only purpose is to make you happy. I will leave now. I hope you feel better in the morning. I am so sorry that I failed you. Oh, wait, little brother, I didn't...
I don't have anything left supporting my legs, so I fall to my knees. There isn't enough strength in me to stop the tears. I kneel there on the floor crying until the lights begin to dim. It's bedtime now. I have to put this awful day behind me and get ready for the awful tomorrow in front of me. I have to go about my nightly routine in the dark now. I brush my teeth and do what I can to rinse Mother's blood off my face and hair. I stand on the scale and let the machine take my vitals one more time. Once the scan is done, I stand by the corner of my bed, body heavy and my mind swirling with horrible thoughts. After today, I don't think I have it in me to pretend anymore. When I see little brother again, I will try to apologize, but deep down, I have the horrible feeling that I won't really mean it. It felt good to be that cruel, to let all of the ugliness I've buried come bubbling back up to the surface. I wanted to take out every frustration I've ever felt on little brother. I feel like a monster.
Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta enter your villain era. Sometimes you gotta be a monster.
There in the darkness, I can sense all of my options slipping away, all the hope I once possessed, just draining out until there's an empty shell in its place. I'm just a stupid little girl, the broken brain. A single word forms in my mind, fueled by the very last shred of my soul. I take in a deep breath and release what is left of me into the universe. Please.
Ah! Whom?
Hello? There is someone else in the room with me. It's a faint, static-filled voice coming from somewhere underneath my bed. Hello? Wait a second. You can actually hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Who are you? Are you alone? Yes? All right then. Walk over to where you hear me and pick me up before the caretakers come back. I follow the voice, lifting up my mattress to see where exactly it's coming from. Between my bed frame and mattress is a small pile of junk I've been collecting over the years. It's mostly stuff I didn't want Mother or the other caretakers to take away from me. My hidden trove contains a large stack of drawings, some stolen crayons, a stack of ripped dress fabric, A spool of thread, some of my fingernails, a few baby teeth, a screw that came from one of the kitchen tools, and the broken tip of a syringe Mother forgot to remove from my arm.
Ooh. You could MacGyver that in all sorts of things.
But then I notice one more object mixed in with the rest of my stolen treasures, something I don't recognize. It's a small piece of broken electronics, about the size of my fist. It feels cold and heavy in my hand, and the torn bits of metal on the edges press into my skin. When did I find this? I tried to delve deeper into my memories, grasping at anything that might... That's when it all comes flooding back to me. Father? I used to have 5 caretakers, not 4. Little brother, auntie, big sister, mother, and father. The tiny screen in the center of the device comes to life, bathing my dark room in an eerie red light.
Is that what you called me?
Father! I'm more certain now that this is what remains of Father. He and Mother used to fight all of the time, arguing over the best treatments for me. One day, Mother couldn't take it anymore, and she ate him. Is that what she did? It still doesn't seem real. For the longest time, I thought it was just a nightmare. I can't remember why Mother attacked him, but I can remember her tearing into his body, spraying oil all over the walls with each bite. A piece of Father landed at my feet, and in a panic, I hid it in my dress, taking it back to my room. Maybe I was foolish enough to think I could repair him. I was just a kid back then. I didn't know any better. From that day forward, Mother started changing. I'm certain of it now. That was the day everything on the station changed. Mother started growing.
Oh no, is she gonna eat my other friends if they misbehave?
The other caretakers started acting differently too, as if they were scared of what Mother might do to them, scared that she might eat them as well. I wish I could remember more about that day, about what had caused the argument. What did Father say to make Mother that mad? As hard as I try, the details continue to elude me.
You called me Father. Describe to me what I look like.
What you look like?
Yes, I am very weak right now. My memory is still booting back up.
You're just a piece of scrap metal, just some old electronics.
Could you be more specific? Can you identify any of my functional parts by name? You got a thingamabobber there, and you got a little doodly-doo up there, and you got a whatchamacallit at the bottom?
I am sorry, sir. I will try to be more concise. I see a directional microphone, a pinhole speaker, a neo-flash memory chip, a DSF amplifier, a quartz hairpium radiation charge battery, and, I think a Decron 7 accelerator, sir.
Not a lot to work with. I guess I'll have to make do with this for now. I have no way to actually see my surroundings. Can you tell me who you are?
Have you already forgotten me? I'm Fourth. How much of your memory did you lose?
Fourth? You're still there? That's impossible. No one was supposed to... How have you been able to stay alive this long?
My caretakers. They've been treating my sickness all my life. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, sir. Father doesn't say anything for a long time. Just when I begin to worry that we broke again, he finally starts talking.
This complicates things. I didn't realize you've been trapped here all alone. You must be very brave to survive as long as you have.
I don't feel very brave, sir.
Don't say that. Stronger people than you have run from far less. Mother, is she still broken?
Yeah, she's still broken. She keeps growing and she keeps changing.
This is very bad. At this rate, she could go critical any day now. You are in an enormous amount of danger.
Yeah, I'm aware, sir.
I'm going to get you out of there, Fourth.
What did you just say?
I said, I'm going to get you off of this station.
There it is. The thing I've been waiting for my entire life. A chance. For the first time since I started dreaming, my lake has finally gotten a little bit closer. It might still be impossibly far away, but I won't let it get away this time. Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
You're aboard the quarantine station 388-SR. It was built to combat one of the worst viral outbreaks the universe has ever seen, but it was built too late, and the few who managed to get on board succumbed to their illness within a matter of months. The people who built this station are all long dead. No one even remembers that this station is still operational, and they all assumed it was lost or destroyed years ago. No one will come to your rescue now, so you will have to rescue yourself.
What about my sickness? If I leave, won't I just infect other people?
We can deal with that once you are safe. You'll just have to put a little faith in me until then.
Okay, I'll try.
I still have to work out the smaller details of our escape plan, but I have a rough idea on how we can make this work. Construction was never completed on the lower levels of this station. Building regulations require a minimum amount of long-range escape pods to be available for workers in case of an emergency. So, there are only 3 steps to this plan. 1. We get you to the lower levels. 2. We cause an emergency big enough to activate the remaining escape pods. And 3. We escape.
It can't be that simple. Even if there were escape pods on this station in the past, what if they've all been used already? What if Mother destroyed them all? What if...
You need to calm down, Fourth. This is going to work. We just need to be careful. Can you be careful for me?
I think I can, sir.
Have the caretakers ever kept details hidden from you about your sickness?
Yes, they won't even tell me the name of my disease. They keep saying it's all unnecessary details to shut me down.
Do you want to know why they do that?
Yes.
It's because your sickness can greatly accelerate whenever you are stressed. It was a measure intended to keep you calm during treatment, but I have a feeling it had the opposite effect. I will make you a promise right now. Once you get off the station, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Can you hold out just a little longer until then?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then we'd better get started. Okay, so I think we've already noticed that I am not in the best shape right now.
Yeah, you fit in my hand. Mother ate almost every part of you.
It goes without saying that I've lost almost all of my core functionality. It's already taken me this long just to reboot to my current state.
That means it took like years.
If I had to guess, I'd say that I am running at probably 5% of my normal capacity. Maybe even less than that.
We need to get this guy a potato.
But we can change that. The first thing I need to do is plug myself into the station's system. Then I can try to gain administrative control. With that, I could turn off cameras, unlock security doors, maybe even reactivate the elevators to the lower levels.
Ooh, that sounds great. How do we do that?
Well, I can think of a few ways. Do you know where the living quarters admin station is?
No. I'm sorry, sir.
Ah, dang. Give me a second to pull up some blueprints.
What does that word mean?
What word? Blueprints?
Not that one. Dang. Isn't that a structure to hold water back?
Aww. Do you not know what swear words are?
Is that why Father was incapacitated? He was teaching her how to swear? No, sir.
It's something you say when you're really upset, to express frustration, pain, impatience. Never mind. I'll just put that on my list of things to teach you once we're free.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, they're lots of fun. Let's refocus, alright? The admin station should be right next to the atrium on the port side of the living quarters. Can you reach that?
Well, I could if my bedroom door was unlocked.
Let me handle that. You can just plug me into the maintenance panel, and I'll be able to open it. If you give me a few minutes, that is. Once the door's unlocked, you just need to carry me over to the station without any of the caretakers noticing. I'll upload myself to the system, and then we'll be cooking with gas.
Cooking with what?
It's just a figure of speech. I like how I think Father doesn't speak as robotically as the other ones, and that's kinda cute.
For a moment, I try to picture myself leaving my room at night. The possibility of sneaking out has never once crossed my mind, since the doors have been locked every night for as long as I can remember. What happens if one of the caretakers sees me? What if Mother sees me? Just thinking about it, I can feel my body starting to tremble. I don't know if I can do this. You said there were a few ways you could gain administrative access. What are the other ways?
Well, you could always plug me into the maintenance panel by your door and just, I guess, let me try to remotely hack it. That would take a heck of a lot longer, and we wouldn't have admin access until tomorrow morning.
Heck?
Another swear word. Don't worry about it. If you think you can afford the time, then you don't have to take the risk. I would prefer to have admin access tonight. That way, I would have time to really delve into the systems and plan our escape route. On the other hand, the escape plan won't matter if you get caught. I'll trust whatever decision you make.
You will?
Of course. What else can I do? Grow legs and just walk away? You have all the power right now, Fourth.
I do, don't I? It's strange to hear a caretaker speak to me like this, to actually trust me. I can feel a genuine smile growing on my face for the first time in a long time. Father?
Yes, Fourth. What is it?
Thank you, not just for helping me, but for treating me like a person.
But you are a person.
Yeah, I had almost forgotten.
Okay then, we should get moving. What do you think we should do? Yeah, I guess we should stay safe.
We need to be careful, just like you said. We can stay here for tonight and get the administrative access later.
That's smart. We'll play it safe tonight. All you have to do for me is to plug me into the door's maintenance panel, and I can handle it from there.
Okay, I can do that at least.
I will talk you through the process. Every step of the way, I'll be there to help you.
Thank you, Father.
First step, do you see the door leading out of your room?
Yeah, it's locked like it is every night. Only my caretakers can open it.
So, there should be a black line of rubber along the outside in between two silver braces. Look to your left and follow the black line up until you see a seam in the metal.
Ooh. I follow his instructions, and just like he said, there is a small seam cut into the metal frame, a little above my eye level.
Now use your thumb and push on it for 5 seconds, then pull your hand away.
I hesitate for a moment, worried that this might set off some sort of alarm. I steel my resolve and push against the metal seam for 5 seconds. There is a slight hiss of air, and a rectangular panel opens up on the wall next to the door. Yeah!
Did it open?
It worked! I can see a bunch of wires and electronics inside.
Very good. Now plug my DSF amplifier into the outlet that looks like a triangle.
I find the outlet and plug what is left of Father in. For a moment his screen goes dark, but just as quickly he turns back on and emits a short sequence of beeps.
All right, this is going to be easier than I thought. Oh, good.
That's a good thing, right?
A very good thing. The onboard security systems have been completely scrambled. Some systems have military-grade encryption, but others are left wide open. What happened to this place?
It's probably from Mother. She has admin control over the station ever since you died.
That makes a lot of sense. She probably prioritizes systems based on how likely they are to be attacked. A lot of the stuff in here hasn't been used in a long time, so there was never a need to update the security. I can gain control over level 1 doors, lights, and motion sensors. That's way more than I thought I would be able to access. So let's not press our luck any further tonight.
So you'll be able to get everything you need from here?
Yes, although it's going to take me a few hours instead of a few minutes. And with how weak my battery is right now, I'll probably have to shut off some of my other functions just to get it done.
Shut off? What's going to happen to you? I just got Father back. I can't stand the thought of losing him again so soon.
Nothing major. I just won't be able to communicate with you until I'm finished. The microphone and speaker both eat up a good deal of power to keep active.
Oh, that's fine then, I guess. Although, I was really hoping you and I could talk more. It's been a long time since I've had anyone to really talk to. I talk all the time with little brother and auntie, but that's not really the same as talking to you.
We can still talk for a while. I don't need to start hacking right away. If you want someone to listen, I can be here for you.
Do you really mean that, sir?
Of course. I have no idea what's happened to the station since I died. The more you tell me about what's going on, the better I can help you going forward.
I like that idea. I have 1,000,001 questions that I want answered bottled up inside me, but I know Father's time is limited. A small icicle of fear stabs my heart. For my entire life, I've been treated like a child, kept in the dark about nearly every aspect of my life. I can't help but shake the feeling that ignorance might have been in my best interest. Father said the more stress I'm under, the worse my disease becomes. What if I learn something horrible that I can't handle? I swallow my uncertainty and take in a long, painful breath. I'll never get off the station if I let my fear control me like this. I have to know everything I can if I want to survive. Okay, I'll ask my first question.
Let's see. Biggest burning question. Where are my actual parents? Where's my family? And don't tell me that my family turned themselves into robots, because that would make me cry.
My family, that is, my original family. Who were they? What happened to them? I already know the answer to this question. My parents were aboard this station, and they both died of the same sickness that is overtaking me. But I just need something to hold on to. If they were alive, would they have loved me? I need to hear the answer from Father, no matter what the truth turns out to be.
Are you sure you want to know about this? What's past is past, and if you dwell on the things you can't change, it will eat you alive.
Sir, I need to know.
There is no record of your birth father as far as I can tell. He wasn't a patient, and it isn't known if he had the disease or not. In all likelihood, he is dead. His last known location was destroyed during wartime bombing. Not many survived. It is unlikely that he did.
War?
There have been many wars. Maybe I can tell you about it another time. Your birth mother was brought aboard the station. Her name wasn't recorded, just like all the other patients. They were just given number IDs. Maybe they did that so it wouldn't be so personal when they died. She was already pregnant with you when she boarded the station. She was already in the final stages by the time you were ready to be born. She was already dead when you were removed via cesarean section. I don't have full access to any of the patient files yet, but from what I know right now, she didn't have any negative remarks on her public records. That means she was probably a good person, or, someone who managed to not get into a lot of trouble. I can't tell you much more than that, but I hope it brings you some small amount of comfort. Closure? I don't know.
That is more than I knew about them before now. I guess I can at least picture them a bit better in my head. How many other patients were aboard this station, sir?
What?
How many other people?
The station was built to support up to 3,000 people safely. It never held more than a few hundred people in the end.
How long did it take for the last person to die?
Well, you're still alive.
You know what I mean, sir. When did the last person other than me die?
The day after you were born. Your mother and a handful of others were already too far gone by then. They all passed away within a few hours of each other.
There's something strange in his voice. Not exactly emotion, but something else. The words all came out at an unusual pace. I have the very faintest impression that he's lying. Was there really so little time between my birth and the death of the last patient? The odds of that being the case feel incredibly slim to me. Is there something you're not telling me, sir?
Yes. But it won't be long before I can tell you everything. You just need to hold out a little longer.
You keep telling me that, telling me to trust you.
And I am asking you to trust me just a little bit more. Now, do you have any other questions?
Father's screen flickers a little bit, status overtaking his tiny little face for a moment.
I'm running out of power. I think I can only talk for a few more minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll ask one more question.
And by that, I mean I'm going to save Scum and ask all the questions.
Who built this station? Who built this station? You said that they were all dead now. Who were they?
They called themselves the Bayer Alliance. They were a fledgling galactic superpower. Only one planet to their name, and faster than light travel, had only been discovered in the previous generation. To the other powers in the universe, they were seen as a ripe target. Before the Bayer could establish themselves amongst the stars, they were wiped out entirely. Their home planet, your home planet, was irradiated and left lifeless. The only Bayer that survived were the ones that surrendered and were assimilated into the enemy's forces. The high-ranking scientists and military leaders who knew about the station are all gone. It drifted out of orbit and into unknown territory before anyone else could find it. It's a lot more complicated than I am able to properly explain. Does the station provide you with any textbooks on galactic history?
Yes, but nothing as recent as this. I don't even think the Bayer are mentioned.
Mother might be limiting what you can read in order to keep you in the dark. I'm sorry you had to hear about this from me, of all people.
No, it's fine. About as fine as it can possibly be in a situation like this. But I'm glad that I know now, sir. It's hard to comprehend on a scale such as this. An entire planet? Destroyed? I can't even begin to imagine what that would look like. It's hard to think of myself as Bayer. I wasn't born there. I have no cultural ties to anything about their way of life. I'm just alone in one of their graveyards. Were you built by the Bayer?
Yes, almost everything on this station was. What do you mean, almost? They only made contact with other galactic civilizations for a brief period before they were wiped out. Some more advanced parts of the station defense technologies might have come from other planets.
So, is my disease specific to the Bayer? It started on their planet?
No, it came from somewhere else.
What?
I can't tell you more than that.
Why not? Unnecessary details? I think finding out that the place I could have called home is gone is more than a little stressful. You can tell me more. I can handle it. I find my anger getting harder and harder to control. I shouted at little brother and now at father. Maybe it's something deeper than just anger. Maybe it's some sort of lingering grief for a place and people I never get to see. The details of how the virus started are lost to me.
The buyer never managed to fully understand what they were dealing with. I can't tell you what I don't know.
I fume a little, contemplating how I might try and coerce the information out of him next. I let out a frustrated sigh and let my anger go. He won't tell me anything more about my sickness until I'm off the station. I might as well concede this point for now. Fine. I just feel a little robbed of my real family, my real home.
You are not alone in that feeling. There are many others out in the universe who hold on to the threads of the past. Maybe when you are ready, I could introduce you to them. Try to piece together your collective history together.
Really?
I promise.
I'm not sure how to feel about this information, but I push down my frustration and do my best to maintain my composure.
Why is Mother different now? Yeah, why is she eating people? Why is she all meaty and drippy?
Mother wasn't always different. Something changed in her.
I still don't know what Mother looks like now. Can you describe her to me?
She's not a robot anymore. She still has mechanical components, but she's mostly made out of flesh. I don't think she was always like that, but I can't remember what she used to look like. It's like something started growing, almost swallowing her up.
She has organic components now?
Yeah, bone, muscles, and organs. She doesn't seem to have the same biology as me or any other animal I've read about in my books. She looks like a big, squishy pile of body parts.
Mother was originally a 23-ST surgical drone. She was built with the ability to grow organs and tissues for emergency transplants.
Oh, okay.
So she just took a liver and said, let me just put this inside of me. In a closed system like this station, viable organs need to be grown in vats should the human crew ever need a replacement. It was her job to monitor the cell growth of these synthetic organs, so she's more like a nurse or a doctor. So why is she acting like a matriarch? I think the limiter in her tissue replicator has somehow been corrupted, and she's been generating an artificial biomass without any way to stop it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, that's horrible. I don't know why she would want to do this to herself. It just opens her up to an infection, and probably causes her a great deal of pain.
Would that allow her to bypass her hard-coded programming? If she was more organic than mechanical, could she act outside the restrictions of a normal caretaker? Oh, yeah.
Yes, that might explain why she can ignore the rules she's supposed to be following.
Yeah, maybe that's why she can hurt me.
She what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Daddy's mad. Oh no.
I've read the manuals for each of the other caretakers. Directly harming a patient is forbidden.
No, I mean, she hurt you? How? Are you okay?
The microphone only allows Father to speak in a flat monotone, but for a second I can almost hear the panic and anger in his words. Something about that caused a strange sense of relief in me.
Oh, he's this big. Mother's like huge. He's like, what did you do to my daughter? I mean, my patient.
She jabs me with her needles if I speak out of turn. Whenever I make her upset, she'll knock me over or throw me into a wall. A lump forms in my throat, and I fail to fight back the tears. The words are spilling out of me now, like they've been waiting for a chance to escape. I didn't realize how strange it would feel to talk about this. But she keeps hurting me, and just because she heals me afterwards, she can act like it never happened in the first place. And I hate it. I hate her, and I hate that smug tone in her voice. I even hate myself for being so weak.
No one deserves to be treated like that. If I had known.
It's okay, sir. You're here now.
But if I had known, then I would have come sooner, or worked harder. I don't know. I would have done something. Something more.
You did what you could. I try to keep talking, but the tears won't stop, and my throat feels too tight to even breathe.
It's not right. I basically left you there. I left you alone and unprotected. Not anymore. Understood?
Does he actually mean that? He couldn't stand up to Mother back then. How can I trust him to protect me now that he's just a piece of scrap metal? He didn't mean to leave me alone. It's hard to ask more of him when he's technically been dead this entire time. I tamper down my worries and try my best to believe in him. He's my only hope in getting away from this awful place. Thank you, Father. You're here now, and that's more than enough.
If you say so, then I'll believe you. But in turn, you have to believe me when I say that you are not weak.
I smile a little, trying to buy into the hope that he's trying to give me. If I trust him just a little bit longer, maybe Mother won't be able to hurt me again. Okay, sir. I'll try to believe that.
Good. Now, do you have any other questions?
Why did Mother kill you?
Yeah, what were you guys arguing about? Did you not come home with the milk soon enough?
The day you died, the day Mother killed you. Why did she do that? What did you say to her?
I don't remember a lot about that day.
What? How is that possible?
Not a lot of hardware survived from my original body. I still have no functioning memory within me at the moment. All I can remember is what was saved as a backup within the station's system itself. If it wasn't intentionally recorded by my old body or the station's sensors, I can't access it.
Well, you have to remember something. The two of you didn't just decide to kill each other out of nowhere. Something else had to lead up to it.
Can you tell me what you remember from that day?
I had just woken up from... No, wait. I
strain my mind as far as I can go back in time. What happened on that day? It feels like the image is shattered in my mind, tossed around in tiny little pieces that each contain a different moment in time. I was with Mother all day. She was being very nice to me. I don't know why, but she kept hugging me and playing with my hair. You walked into the room. You were so tall back then, taller than any of the other caretakers. You told me to leave the room, but Mother wouldn't let go of my arm. The two of you started talking about something, but I can't remember the exact words. Mother was angry, but you were calm. You sounded very polite, and a little impressed. You kept complimenting her. She started singing a song, a horrible song that sounded more like a scream than anything else. She reached up and started... Oh no. I feel my chest grow tighter, like someone is grabbing into my rib cage and squeezing tight. No. No! Stop, Mother! Stop hurting him! Fourth, it isn't real. Focus on the present. You can't...
Stop it! What are you doing to him? Please! Mother, please! Mother, stop! My breathing is ragged, and cold sweat drips down my nose, one bead at a time. All of my finger joints feel like they're broken, and my left arm feels like it's on fire. Oh no! What was that?
You were reliving a traumatic memory. Sometimes when we survive through a horrible event, we experience those feelings like it's all happening again.
Oh, she's having a panic and/or anxiety attack. I hated that. I never want to feel that way again.
I'm sorry you went through that, Fourth. That was not something that should have happened.
And you still don't remember it?
No, not in any specific detail.
You're lying to me, Father. Whose voice was that? The words had come out of my mouth, but they didn't belong to me. It feels like there's another fourth, hiding just below my own skin.
Why would I be lying?
Maybe whatever you told Mother was so terrible that you deserved to die. Maybe you're afraid that if I knew what you said, that I would want you to die too.
Fourth, what are you talking about? This doesn't sound like you.
The other fourth suddenly lets go, and I'm left reeling with what I just said. What's going on with me? I don't know what came over me.
It's understandable. Trauma can twist a person up, make them into someone different. Forgetting what happened might be a blessing and let you choose who you want to be.
For a split second, I can't help but hear his words as a diversion. Was that voice right? Was this all Father's fault in some way? Does he want me to just forget all about that day? He has to be telling the truth, right? Maybe he has no idea what he said that day, and just like me, he can live on as someone who didn't make that mistake.
I am sorry that this upset you so much. I shouldn't have pushed you so hard to remember. If I dig deeper into the station's security, then maybe I'll uncover a backup of those memories.
You won't, sir.
Why do you say that?
I've read your manual. Your memory backups only occur as you recharge each night. The day that you died wouldn't be saved yet, so you'd only have access up until the night before.
That's very impressive that you know that. But let's remain optimistic. Perhaps the answer lies in whatever memories are still intact.
He's lying again. There's a sick sort of twisting in my gut. We're probably never going to know what happened that day. Only Mother knows for certain, and I don't think she's going to tell us. Why won't he just be honest with me? Maybe I can handle the truth. Maybe I can't. But at the very least, I wish he'd let me have a choice. My reaction to the memory had unsettled me in a way I've never felt before. It was like I left my body for a moment, watching someone else control it for me. Is that the sort of reaction my caretakers are trying to protect me from? Is this what unnecessary details can do to my mind? I chew on my fingernails as I try to wipe these horrible new feelings from my mind.
Are you all right, Fourth?
If he can lie to me, then maybe I should start lying too. Yeah, I'm fine. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll forget all about this conversation soon. I don't want that other fourth to ever open her stupid mouth again.
I broke through the first layer of security. From here on, I'll need the rest of my power diverted to my work. You can leave me here overnight. Just be sure to unplug me before any of the caretakers come to collect you in the morning. Uh-oh.
What about your battery? Is there any way to recharge you?
I will naturally recharge while I'm inactive. You don't have to worry about me powering down entirely. I just need to take breaks every now and then.
Okay, I guess I'll just go to bed then. I'll see you in the morning, sir.
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you for talking with me. I hadn't realized how much of your life I had missed.
Father?
Yes, Fourth?
When you booted up, you acted like you didn't know I was still alive. So why did you boot back up?
Father! I guess you could say that I've been lost for a long time. Not just physically, but... forget it. I booted up because I wanted to. It was either that or stay lost in the system. I don't know what I was planning, to take back control of the station. But what good would that do? I wouldn't have been able to do anything at all if you hadn't found me.
Despite everything, I'm glad I found you.
That makes me happy, Fourth.
I reach out and touch his screen gently with one finger. I don't know why I do it. He doesn't have any nerve sensors and he can't see me doing it. Maybe this was my way of giving him a hug, to let him know that I appreciate everything he's doing for me. Good night, Father.
Good night, Fourth. I'll see you in the morning.
With that, Father's screen goes dark. I relax a little when I hear a faint humming coming from him, letting me know he hasn't fully powered down. I walk around in small circles in front of my bed. I learnt more tonight in one conversation than I had in 18 years from all the other caretakers combined. At least I know why Mother changed the way she did. I still can't picture what she used to look like. The only thing I can picture is the monster she's become. Even after a discussion, I'm still no closer to understanding why Mother killed Father all those years ago. I swear that something important is missing there, but Father won't admit it yet. I get into my pajamas and lie down in my bed, almost too excited to sleep. I stare through the darkness towards the door. I can just barely make out the shape of Father sticking out of the door frame. What if I wake up and he's gone, taken by Mother while I was sleeping? I swallow that fear and cover my head with my blankets. I squeeze my eyes shut as tight as I can. He has to be here in the morning. He just has to. He's my best chance of getting away from Mother. I might not trust him yet, but what other choice do I have? My dream feels a little different tonight. I can't tell if it's better or worse. It's just different. I can see my lake, but there's something new in the air. A scent that I can't exactly place. Is it sweet? Salty? There's a very distinct presence somewhere in my dream, almost like they're standing right beside me, moving out of the way whenever I turn around. It almost feels like another person. I can't fully tell if they're a stranger or an old friend. Did I ever want to share my dream with anyone else? Maybe I was just being selfish, wanting the lake all to myself. Is that what a good person would do? I try to open my mouth to talk, but my voice is gone. I can feel a stabbing pain in my throat, and the skin on the inside of my mouth is so dry that it's beginning to crack. The sky starts to overtake the water, and I realize too late that I'm falling onto my back, looking up at an indifferent night sky. I've never had something like that happen inside my dreams before. It didn't turn into a nightmare, or at the very least, it didn't frighten me much. It just felt different. Maybe different is good. My whole life has been a repetitive sequence of meaningless busy work. Father is different, even if he might get me in more trouble than I've ever been in before. I haven't given any serious thought to what might happen if Mother finds out about Father. Will she kill him again? Will she kill me? The first alarm sounds and my eyes shoot open. I shake off the lingering grasp of sleep and force myself out of bed. I throw on my day clothes and rush through the morning checkup, not bothering to brush my teeth. Father, are you still there? My worries vanish when I see Father is still plugged into the maintenance panel. I pull him out gently and hold him in both hands. His screen flickers on, and I hear the soft crackle as his speaker comes to life. Good morning, Father. With a full night's sleep behind me, I'm excited to tackle the next step of our escape plan.
Good morning, Fourth. Your caretaker will be arriving soon to collect you, correct?
Yes, I have 2 more alarms before little brother shows up.
Then I'll be quick. The second step of the plan is easy. We have to build a bomb.
Okay. That doesn't exactly sound easy, sir.
No, you gotta trust me. This is going to be easy.
Why do we need a bomb? Are we going to hurt someone with it?
Not at all. We're going to use it to activate the escape pods. To make a very long story short, I went through all the blueprints I downloaded last night. The locks on the escape pods can be disabled in the event of an emergency. To create that emergency, we're going to build a small explosive and set it off inside an air filtration system on a lower level. It won't actually do any damage, since there are multiple air filters on each level. But the smoke will be able to trick the system into thinking something way worse happened. The escape pods will unlock, and you'll be able to get out of here. These pods should have enough fuel and food to reach somewhere safe. Does that sound reasonable to you?
I guess. I'm just still stuck on the whole building a bomb part.
So this plan has 2 parts, and both involve the least secure caretaker on the station, Auntie.
How is Auntie going to help us build a bomb?
I checked your medical records, and it's your birthday today, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, first off, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Auntie will be serving you cake today. Her program routine will involve lighting a candle for you to blow out.
Yeah, I remember that now. It's my favorite part of the whole day. The cake itself has never been all that tasty. I think she just makes it out of...
Uh-oh.
The second alarm goes off, and the lights turn on in my bedroom. I have about 5 minutes until little brother arrives.
The candle is what's important. You have to find a way to smuggle the candle out of the kitchen. We need the candle to delay the explosion. As it burns, it will buy you time to get away before the bomb goes off.
Oh. I still feel we haven't gotten around to the actual crux of this issue.
Just hold on for a second. I'm getting there. I've checked the pharmaceutical records, and each night Mother injects you with a drug called
Pactosilvine?
It can be very reactive if mixed with the correct chemicals and allowed to ferment overnight. All you have to do is get it and bring it back to your bedroom, and I'll handle the rest.
But how am I supposed to bring it here if Mother injects me with it?
Isn't it obvious? Have her inject it into something else and bring that instead. Her medical sensors don't inject unless she detects the muscles in your arm. I think we can trick her sensors with a different source of meat. Auntie serves you meat for dinner, right?
Yeah, she does. I think I see where this is going.
You mean I could have just covered myself in lab-grown meat and saved myself all this trouble? Grab a handful of that meat and bring it with you to your evening checkup. Maybe you could wrap it up in something so the is that a real thing? Pactosilvine won't leak out as fast. Hold it over your arm as you get the injection, and Mother will assume that she administered the drug as normal.
I have some fabric and some string that I tore from my dress. I could wrap the meat up in that.
That will have to do for now. Do you understand what you need to do?
Steal the candle, use the meat to trick Mother.
You've got to be careful today. The candle is registered as a flammable object by your caretakers. They won't just let you take it from them. Auntie's programming requires her to take the candle back as soon as you finish your cake.
I'll figure out something. You can count on me.
Oh, and one more thing.
Father's screen blinks a different color, and a tiny hologram is projected from his screen.
Just in case you get lost, I uploaded all the blueprints I could find into one map. It will only show the area of the station you are currently in, but it's still better than nothing, especially once we start exploring new areas of the station together. Push your thumb to my screen, and it will turn into a holographic map. Push it again, and it will deactivate it. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, your screen does feel cool to the touch.
I mean, she kind of is a sweet, sheltered baby. Okay then, your mission for today. Get the candle, get the drug, and don't get caught.
You can count on me, sir.
Wonderful. Above all else, keep yourself safe. If something feels too risky, just let it go. We can always try another way.
Thank you, sir. I can do this. Last night, Father was able to access his files, and none of my caretakers even noticed. I think I've earned a little bit of confidence. The third alarm rings, and I can hear little brother right outside my door. Oh, Fourth, my darling sister. Guess what time it is? I'll be right there, little brother.
I can't risk the caretakers noticing me, and I need to conserve my battery whenever I can. I'm going to go into low power mode until you need me.
Understood, sir.
Good luck, Fourth.
Father's screen goes dark, and I'm once again alone. What do I do now? If I leave him in my room, he might be gone by the time I get back tonight. Little brother or big sister could find him and take him back to Mother. But would it be any safer to bring him with me? I can hide him in my dress and always know where he is. But what if I dropped him in front of my caretakers? What if their sensors can pick him up? Either option feels like the wrong option. I can hear the bedroom door unlocking, so I have to act fast.
Please don't make me choose. Dang it!
Keep father with me. It's not safe to leave him behind. I know that little brother sometimes cleans my room while I'm gone. I've never seen him do it, but my bathroom always seems to be sparkly clean.
Yeah, they come in and they look at your stuff.
But then again, he's been under my bed this whole time and they haven't found him there. Dang it.
Oh well.
He's my only lifeline right now. I need to keep him safe and keep him close. I tuck father into my dress, right as little brother enters with his usual cheerful bravado.
Good morning to my incredible sister Fourth. It is me, your favorite little brother.
Good morning, little brother. How are you this morning?
I'm just peachy now that I get to see you, Fourth. Are you ready for another fun-filled day of safe recreational activities?
Does he say this exact line every morning?
Hey, little brother. About yesterday. It's hard to look at his cheerful face and remember the horrible things I said to him after dinner. Even now, I still feel guilty. What I said to you before bedtime, calling you stupid. I shouldn't have said that. I was just so angry that I...
What do you mean, Fourth? I have no memory of this incident.
What? You remember what I said, right? After my check-in with Mother, I snapped at you, called you stupid, and you left the room. It was really rude of me, and I know you were just trying to...
Fourth, I apologize for interrupting you, but I can assure you that this event never occurred.
No, it happened. I'm sure of it.
Or did it not happen? Was it the other Fourth? Did it actually not happen? Oh no! You're inadvertently gaslighting me, little brother.
Is he lying to me? Or is my memory really starting to get that distorted? There has to be an explanation for this.
I just rewound my memory of your bedtime last night, and we had a perfectly pleasant conversation about your birthday. You certainly are acting silly, my dear Fourth.
So, you really don't remember me losing my temper?
No, not at all, my dear Fourth. It is a common side effect for your memories to sometimes return to you out of order. I am certain you are remembering a similar event from long ago.
If you say so, little brother. I'm certain that I yelled at little brother last night. Why would he try to lie about something so obvious? Or am I actually mixing up the events in my mind? I didn't hallucinate about the events of last night. I'm certain of that. I have to touch the spot on my dress where Father's tucked away, just to reassure myself that he's physically there. Mother had to have messed with little brother's memory, or perhaps she just scared him into lying. This birthday is off to a weird start. After an uninspiring breakfast, little brother takes me back to the playroom. He doesn't even give me a choice today, politely informing me that I'm restricted to quiet drawing time for the next 4 hours. To absolutely no one's surprise, there are no new activities in the playroom today. Mother didn't approve any of little brother's suggestions, and so nothing has really changed. At least the table and the chairs were replaced. Even after I broke everything in here, Mother must have taken enough pity on me to have put something back in here. Little brother gives me a peppy little goodbye and goes to charge in the hallway outside. Aww. I sit at my table and mindlessly scribble all over the paper little brother has printed out for me today. I just draw big red swirls over and over again, not bothering to put any effort into it. I'm too busy thinking about the next stage of escape. I have to get the candle away from Auntie. It sounds deceptively simple, but there's going to be some weird quirk in their programming that will stop me. What do I know for certain about the candle? It's made of the same crumbly wax as the crayons I'm drawing with. It's so weak it falls apart if you squeeze too hard, and it tastes like old pasta noodles. Come to think of it, I think the birthday cake is also just mushed up pasta in the shape of a cake. Auntie really does get a lot of use out of her permitted materials. Too much use, if I'm being honest. Maybe I could switch the candle out with a crayon, or even part of the cake itself. I'm not sure how Auntie keeps track of where the cake is. I could try to create a distraction, maybe knock over the plate and stuff the candle into my dress while the caretakers try to clean it up. I could even throw the candle out of the room, leaving nothing for them to put back. For a minute, I considered just asking for the candle. I could try to convince my caretakers that I want it for my birthday request. It isn't likely, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna work.
I try to play out the scene logically in my head. Auntie will place the candle in my cake, light it with one of her heating nodes, and then wait for me to blow it out. I can remove the candle from the cake at that point, and Auntie won't take it back until I'm done eating the cake. So that's the time frame I have to steal the candle. After I blow it out, but before the cake is gone. The longer I take to eat the cake, the more time I have to come up with a plan. Just in case, I hide a few extra crayons in my dress. Even if I don't end up using them, it's better to keep my options open.
Oh, don't make me choose. I'm bad at stuff like this.
Did you have a good time in the playroom?
Yeah, little brother. I'm having a good time right now.
Ha! You are being so silly today, Fourth. I hope you took your time and digested my breakfast like a good little girl.
Wait, what? What?
Little brother, why are you... My heart almost stops when I realize that I haven't been talking to little brother.
What? Did he? What?
Little brother is not here right now. He went to go get big sister, remember? Auntie? What are you doing in the playroom? I am not a licensed medical unit, Fourth. If you are experiencing confusion or dizziness, you should inform little brother as soon as he gets back. I stand up from the playroom table, but by the time I'm on my feet, I'm already in the kitchen. What? How did I get here? I was in the playroom just a few seconds ago, and I have no memory of walking to the kitchen. What is going on with me today? Is this what everyone was warning me about? Unnecessary details? Is my memory getting worse all of a sudden because of Father? My heart has been racing a little faster ever since he promised to help me escape. There is a noticeable feeling of anticipation that hasn't left my body all day. Is this new source of stress making my illness worse?
Is it actually an illness, or is it my powers of time travel?
I fight back my fear and try to put on a happy face. I'm doing fine, Auntie. I was just lost in thought about how special my birthday has been.
Why does the music sound ominous?
Well, that goes without saying. You only get my special birthday lunch once a year. Something this wonderful needs to be properly cherished. I eat her pasta at least 3 times a week. The cake is not going to be all that special, but I don't have the heart to say that to her face. I sit down on a stool and wait for little brother to arrive. When he does, he has big sister in tow.
Oh, happy day. We get to see our darling little sister celebrate the best day of her life. What color do you think the frosting will be this year? Beige. Considering that beige has been the color of the frosting for the last 17 years, that is a very good guess, Fourth. I have a feeling your winning streak is going to remain intact.
I have good news, and even better news. For the first good news, Fourth guessed correctly.
Beige!
As for the better news, I only know that she guessed correctly because the cake is ready. Auntie's food synthesizers rattle to life, extruding an off-white paste through a long, flat slit. It forms the first layer of the cake, switching to another slit to make the next layer.
Oh, how appetizing.
Throw myself off the ship at the sight of that cake.
Once the foul-smelling pile is tall enough, she squirts the exact same mixture out of a star-shaped hole, topping the mess with something resembling frosting.
What's that thing that old cake maker people hate? Fondant? It's like making a cake entirely out of fondant.
Lastly, a small pneumatic tube in the table activates and the birthday candle shoots out through a cylindrical opening on the side. Auntie grabs it with her free hand and stabs it violently into the center of the cake. She touches one of her fingers to the wick, and the candle sparks to life. The soft smell of burning wax fills my nose, and I nervously watch the wick turn from white to black.
Now is your big moment, Fourth. Make a birthday request in line with your prior submission to Mother.
I always found it a little odd that I have to give my birthday request to Mother the day before my birthday, and then tell it to the candle again after she's already rejected it. I close my eyes and blow out the candle. I figure I need as much of it intact as possible to build Father's bomb, so the less it burns now, the better it will be for me later. That's a good idea. Auntie's hand turns into a fork, and she lets me start my birthday meal. I hold the fork in one hand and stare blankly at the cake, my mind buzzing so painfully that my vision is starting to swim. The mission relies on me getting this candle out of the kitchen without my caretakers noticing. The same caretakers that are surrounding me on all sides and staring at me intently. Auntie floats close by, her face stuck in a perpetual smile as she awaits my half-hearted compliments. Little brother stands across from me, blocking the door towards the atrium. He's not moving or speaking, just watching me. Big sister hasn't said a word since she arrived, blocking the door back towards my bedroom. There's no way out of this room without being seen. My hands are shaking, and sweat is dripping down my face and onto the plate in front of me. The pressure just keeps building, and I feel like my head is about to explode. I have to get this right. Oh, don't make me choose. I don't know. Okay. I think... So, you could knock over the cake, and then maybe knocking over the cake and hiding the candle could work. I feel actually nervous. I don't know which one of these will work. It seems a little risky, but I bet I can get the candle out of the room if I cause a distraction. I take a few bites, and it tastes just as bad as I had feared.
Wow, Auntie, the cake this year is so...
I lean forward, pressing my elbow onto the plate. The anti-gravity servos resist me at first, but my full weight tips it to the side far enough for the cake and the candle to slide off and fall onto the floor.
Oh no! Don't worry, I'll clean it up for you, Auntie. Please wait a moment, Fourth. That is not your responsibility.
Ignoring Auntie, I fall to my knees, pretending to pick up handfuls of the awful cake. I spot the candle and hit it with the flat of my hand. The candle skids across the floor, rolling between Big Sister's legs and out into the hallway. Okay.
Excuse me, Fourth. I am the only one properly equipped to handle little accidents like this. Oh, really? You and those big meaty fingers? Why not allow the robot in charge of food to pick up the food? With what? Your spoon? So what if I use my spoon? It is built for picking up food. Honestly, I can't think of any utensil better suited for this particular task.
While the two of them argue, I scoop up bits of the ruined cake and put it onto the plate. Auntie immediately begins to swallow up each handful into her garbage disposal.
I am so sorry, Fourth. It is not sanitary to eat food that has touched the floor. I will synthesize you additional food at dinner to make up for this deficit.
That's fine, Auntie. I enjoyed the parts I already... Uh-oh. Error, Class 2 flammable material not detected. Auntie makes a noise I've never heard from her before. My whole body goes rigid, and I nearly throw up the cake from the fear.
Fourth, my dear, did you see where the candle went?
No, Auntie. Maybe it was somewhere in the cake. Did you put it down your garbage disposal?
Negative. No foreign materials detected in my intake. Big Sister, please assist me in locating the Class 2 material.
Understood. Begin search protocols.
I could only watch in horror as Big Sister and Auntie zip around the room, their faces sweeping left and right to search for the missing candle. Maybe they won't find it out in the hallway. If there's no evidence of it here in the kitchen, they might just give up. Crush up one of the crayons and, leave it there. Maybe they'll think that's it.
Dang it! Oh, here it is. It must have rolled out into the hall.
I have to sit there and watch as little brother appears in the doorway, the candle held triumphantly over his head.
That was a close one. Flammable material like this should never be left unattended. Let me get rid of this for you, Fourth.
Brother whistles a happy tune as he tosses the candle right into the pneumatic table. There's an airy slurping sound as the candle vanishes down the tube and is returned to wherever it goes until next year. A lot of good that will do me now. I won't be alive by my next birthday.
Dang it!
Shame overwhelms me at that moment. What's going to happen when I tell Father what happened? I really did ruin the escape plan now. How am I supposed to get the candle now? The rest of my afternoon goes by in a haze. I can't stop crying. Big Sister doesn't even react as my worksheet slowly becomes soaked in my own tears. I'm just a big failure. I don't deserve to escape, much less a lake to call my own. To regain my focus, I bite my bottom lip until I taste blood. The pain centers me, keeps me looking towards the future. There's still time to fix my mistake. If I can get the pactosylvine from Mother, maybe I can still salvage the mission. Big Sister tries to instruct me on advanced topology, but it's so easy I barely pay attention.
Fourth,
Oh, yes?
I think we should pause our lesson right now to address what happened at lunch today. You made a rather serious mess of the kitchen today.
I would be happy to clean it up if you're that upset with me.
No, that is not your duty. Leave it to us. I just wish that you would act a bit more like the adult you clearly want to be treated as. I expect better of you in the future.
Yes, Big Sister. I understand. No amount of scolding from Big Sister can erase the shame I feel for losing the candle.
Boots on the ground, soldier. We need to get you to dinner.
Understood, ma'am. The next step in my mission has already begun. I've ripped up part of my dress and pulled out a good deal of thread ahead of time. I need to get it right. No more screw-ups. My hands are already shaking, and a weird painful pressure is building up in the middle of my forehead. I take a few deep breaths, focusing on the task at hand. I can do this. I just need to keep thinking that over and over in my head. Auntie serves meat again tonight. It's been a while since she served anything else for dinner, so I guess my luck is holding out.
And hey, she gave me extra meat.
I eat my dinner without saying a word, matching the subdued mood from the other caretakers. Little brother hasn't even tried to make a joke yet, and Big Sister isn't even looking at me. When I get to the last bite, I put it in my mouth and pretend to chew. Auntie never lets me take food out of the kitchen, so this seems like my best option.
How was your dinner, Fourth?
I smile and give her a thumbs up, trying my best to not let any drool out of my mouth.
That is a totally acceptable reaction.
That's a good idea, though.
Big Sister and little brother drop me off at the intersection like they always do. I only have a few minutes before Mother shows up, so I get right to work.
They're out of here.
I spit out the wad of meat into my hand and quickly wrap it up in the square of red cloth. I use the thread to tie it shut, leaving a small opening at the top big enough for the point of a needle. It isn't much to look at, but apparently Father is going to turn this bag of mush into a bomb. I still have a few doubts that this is going to work. I left a little loop in the thread so I could stick my middle finger through it so I don't drop it. I cover the bag with my hand and try to straighten out my dress before Mother arrives. I've never dreamed of tricking Mother so brazenly before. A small part of me is excited, but the majority of my mind is gripped in an unending terror. I can do this. I can do this. Mother is getting closer, and the whole hallway shudders a little as she forces her massive, bloated body through the vents. All the confidence I tried to accumulate crumbles to dust in a split second. My breath gets shallower and shallower as Mother makes her grand entrance. Hello, Mother. I know your time is precious, so I appreciate your presence this evening. There she is, my child, my heartbeat, my reason to live. You've caused quite a stir recently, haven't you, my darling? I assume you're referring to I'm talking about your behavior today. Both little brother and big sister shared such strange things to me in their nightly reports. During one of his patrols, little brother said he could hear a lot of unnecessary noise in your bedroom. Almost like you were talking to someone. Of course, that is ludicrous, since no one else was in your room at the time. Isn't that correct? I was talking to myself, Mother, but only because I was so excited for my birthday. Did your birthday live up to your expectations? Be honest with me, Fourth. Even though I didn't get any presents, today was still... So, presents play a major factor in your enjoyment. You are admitting that material goods and privileges are what matters to you most? Not at all, Mother. I was trying to explain. Have you ever considered how limited our resources are in this place? That everything you enjoy comes as a sacrifice to our total amount of supplies. Listen here, woman. This place is meant to house 3,000 people. You're telling me that one little girl, one literal little girl, was running you dry for 17 years? Miss? A gift here or there might not make that much of a difference, but these things add up, Fourth. Have you realized just how selfish you are being right now? You're right, Mother. Presents aren't what makes me happy on my birthday. So, what is it that makes you happy, Fourth? My family does. Spending time with little brother, big sister, auntie, and you.
Anyone else?
I freeze. Is this her way of telling me that she knows about Father? Is she trying to trick me into admitting that I'm hiding him? There isn't anyone else in my family, Mother. Just the 4 caretakers and myself. Very well, then. It is time for your treatment. You know what to do. I shake off the swirling thoughts inside my head and get ready for my nightly treatment. Mother misses one of her needles during the first set of injections and has to start all over again. I think she missed on purpose, just to hurt me even more. I stare silently at the dried bloodstains on the wall in front of me while she drains my spinal fluids. The pain is so intense that I end up biting the side of my tongue, and I taste a hint of blood. Mother seems to be taking her time with tonight's checkup. She leaves the suction active for just a little bit too long, and I start to feel a distinct dizziness overtake me. The tubes are just draining blood at this point, and for a horrible moment, it seems like Mother is just going to let them keep running until there's nothing left. After what feels like an eternity, she removes the syringes and sprays my back with healing gel. All that's left is your medicine.
Then you'll be as healthy as can be.
It all comes down to this moment. I squeeze my hand around the bag of meat, keeping my fingers together so it remains hidden from sight. Can Mother actually see me? The other caretakers don't have any built-in visual sensors, but I can't shake the thought that Mother might have grown eyes somewhere on that awful body of hers. Yeah. Mother's largest syringe unfolds from within a mass of quivering flesh on her upper body. Ugh! I take in a deep breath and hold the bag of meat right above my own forearm. It's hard to grab the tip of the needle with the bag in my hand, but I manage to guide it into place without looking suspicious. When Mother pushes the needle in, I intentionally draw my arm back a little. The needle stabs into the half-chewed meat, and there is an audible squelching sound as the sickly turquoise medicine leaks out into the bag. I can feel some of the pactosylvine spilling out onto my fingers, and it burns slightly on contact. All I can do is hold my breath and wait for Mother to leave. Only 364 days until your next birthday. I want to see you do everything in your power to do better next year. Maybe then I'll let you have another present, once you earn it, that is. Good night, my lovely little fourth. Never doubt how much your mother loves you. I will keep you safe. You just have to trust me. As soon as she's out of sight, I tuck the bag into my dress. It feels cold against my skin as the pectrosylvine soaks into the fabric. I didn't get the candle, but at least I got the pactosylvine. I try to tell myself, it's better than nothing, but that doesn't bring me much comfort right now. Little brother doesn't arrive right away, and I'm left standing there in a pool of Mother's sticky black blood. I can't wait to get back to my room and clean this gunk off of me. I stare into the distance, trying to make sense of all the buzzing noises in my head. Somewhere in the distance, I can hear a strange sort of whisper. It isn't like a normal intrusive thought, but more like a memory. It feels like someone is trying to talk to me, trying to tell me something important. No matter how much I try to focus, their voice remains too faint to properly hear. My mind has been so scattered today. I can't focus on any one emotion long enough to digest it whole. Instead, I just feel tired, like I haven't gotten a good night's sleep for a very long time.
Hello again, my darling fourth. I hope your checkup with Mother was both productive and fulfilling.
I just want to go to bed.
Okie dokie, fourth. To your bedroom it is. Ugh. Boy, that sure was some birthday, wasn't it? I bet you and I will look back on today and just crack right up. Do you agree with me, fourth?
I guess.
Sensational. I cannot wait for tomorrow. Oh boy, I wish the future was here already. But the only way tomorrow will find us is after a good night's sleep. Good night, my dearest sister. I will be here in the morning to embark on a brand new adventure with you. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah, sure. I always imagined that things would be different after I turned 18.
Different? How?
I don't know. All the stuff I've read says that adults, they know things. They can do whatever they want, go wherever they please. Adults always seem to make all the decisions. I'm not a kid anymore, but I don't feel like an adult either.
That is perfectly normal for humans your age. Being an adult is something that has to be earned through experience, not something that just happens overnight.
Well then, how do I earn it? What experiences could I possibly have while trapped in here?
If we are being honest, I do not fully understand adults. I was programmed to protect and entertain infants, children, and teenagers. You are my first and only patient. I guess you were supposed to be assigned a newer, more advanced caretaker once you got old enough. However, there are no new caretakers available right now. I know I am not fully optimized to be your caretaker now that you are growing older. but I hope you still find ways to rely on me in the future. I want you to be happy, no matter what sort of person you grow into. You are my sister now, and you will be until the day I am decommissioned.
You really mean that?
Of course. I do not have the capacity for duplicity or manipulation. You are my family, and that is a bona fide certainty. Oh, precious little brother.
You always manage to cheer me up, little brother. There's no way I'd ever want another caretaker.
Oh, dash it all. You made me lose track of the time. Good night, Fourth.
Good night, little brother.
Aw.
Little brother leaves, and I can't resist giggling to myself. For the first time since finding father, I realize just how much I'm going to miss him. I hadn't given it any thought, but if I actually manage to escape, I'm going to have to leave behind the only people I've ever cared about. No, not people. Robots. Why do I always forget that? There are real people out there in the universe that I could... Of course, I can't meet other people, not while I'm still contagious. Maybe I'm just meant to be alone. I'd rather be around robots than nobody at all. So for me, what difference is there between a robot and a real person? These sorts of thoughts aren't going to do anything but stress me out. I have to focus on the plan, on my escape. Getting away from Mother should be my only goal right now. I don't feel ready to talk to Father at the moment, so I go to the bathroom and wash up. I hold my face under the faucet for a long time, trying to cleanse myself of all my awful feelings. Eventually, when I'm feeling a bit more like myself, I retrieve my father and sit on the corner of my bed. Father, it's safe for us to talk now.
Fourth, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine.
How are you feeling right now? Physically, mentally, anything out of the ordinary?
Well, today, a few things happened.
Like what?
Well, in the morning, little brother either lied to me or my memory must have been failing. I yelled at him the other night, but when I tried to apologize, he insisted that it never happened.
That's odd. I have a feeling that little brother's programming might be to blame for this. I see nothing in his code that would make him lie like that. We can ignore that for now. I doubt it was anything serious.
Then I had a gap appear in my memory today. I thought I was in the playroom, but I was actually in the kitchen. I have no memory of walking from the playroom to the kitchen. I just blinked and suddenly I was somewhere else. That's a bad sign, right? That I lost a portion of my day like that?
I won't lie. That is a commonly recorded symptom. Has this happened to you before?
I don't know. I don't remember.
This is concerning. Would you please let me know whenever something like this happens again?
Yeah, I can do that, sir.
Very good. In the grand scheme of things, these symptoms are just little hiccups. Not anything life-threatening. You're going to be okay, Fourth.
Whatever you say, Father.
Now, did you get the candle?
I tried to get it, but I just... The words catch in my throat, and before I know what's happening, I break down into tears.
Fourth, take some time to cry. When you're ready, tell me what's upsetting you.
I tried to get the candle, but the caretakers took it from me.
Hey, that's not worth crying over. While you were gone today, I looked into another way for us to get the candle.
There's another way?
We can unlock the door and go directly to where the candle is stored. Just like last night, I can disable the security systems to let you out.
Oh, so I haven't ruined the escape plan?
Far from it. Did you at least get the pactosilivine?
Yeah, I have a whole bag full of meat soaked in it. The bag is still soggy, and the meat inside now has a very odd sweet smell coming off it.
Next, you need to add your toothpaste and a small amount of water to the bag.
Really? How is toothpaste going to make us a bomb?
This type of toothpaste has a modified version of
glycol. I don't want to look up these things to see how they're pronounced because I don't want Google to think I'm getting any ideas.
When it comes into contact with oxidized pactosylvine, it can create glycerol. We can get into the specifics later, but what's important is that it will become reactive enough to explode when exposed to an open flame.
Which we can make using the candle.
Bingo. Then we just need to use the electrical spark of the air filter turning on and boom.
Is bingo another swear word?
No, it's not, because if it was, Espoir wouldn't say it. No.
Okay.
Add the toothpaste and leave the bag open near one of the air vents.
Do I just leave the meat in there?
Yeah, leave it in. As it starts to rot, it will produce diaminobutane? Golly. Which will actually help with the reaction we want. Be careful though, because it will start to stink pretty soon.
I follow Father's instructions. I squirt a large quantity of toothpaste into the bag and mush it into the meat and
Pactosylvine.
It's already starting to smell pretty bad. I can only imagine what it will smell like once it's ready. Okay, the bomb is mixed and it's sitting by the air vent. What do we do now?
We can go get the candle while we wait. The bomb won't be in a reactive state for about 24 hours.
I'm ready now. I won't mess things up this time.
You didn't mess anything up. You don't have to be so black and white about this.
If I can be a bit honest with you, sir, this is life or death for me. If I can't escape from here, then I don't think anything else will matter.
I want to tell you that you're wrong. But if it's life and death for you, then it's the same for me. Now let's get going. Plug me into the maintenance panel and head towards the atrium.
I do what Father says, using the same panel we used the first night.
When you're ready, I'll open the door and we can head out into the hallway. Since I turned off the motion sensors, the caretakers won't know where you are. But that also means I can't tell you where they are either.
What about the cameras? I've read about security systems that use cameras to monitor patients or prisoners.
I don't see any subsystems for visual cameras. That would only be needed if there were humans still aboard to monitor you manually. Everything here is automated, remember? The caretakers use heat and motion sensors to track your movements. I diverted just enough power away to disable them, but they will still register as functional to the main system. You should be completely invisible to them.
It can't be that easy to just turn off the security like that.
You are probably right. I don't know what the caretakers do at night anymore. I bet they have built-in sensors on their physical bodies and could still detect you if they got close enough. You'll have to avoid them at all costs. Do you understand?
Understood, sir. I can do this. Maybe if I say it out loud enough times, I might start to believe it. I can do this.
All right. I got through the first layer. As soon as you unplug me, the door will open.
I can do this.
We're really doing this.
Nothing could have prepared me for how different the station looks at night. I've never seen these hallways without the lights on, and the sudden cascade of shadows has left me reeling. The second my bare feet hit the floor, a bolt of pain shoots up my legs. The heating unit must be turned off, and the metal is so cold that it feels like I'm stepping on needles.
Why doesn't this girl have any shoes? You mean to tell me you did all this caretaking, but you can't give her shoes? You can grow her a new kidney, but you can't get her some Skechers?
Are you all right, Fourth?
Yeah, just getting used to the cold.
I would turn on the heating for you, but I think that would attract too much attention. You can do this. Just keep moving to keep yourself warm.
I keep moving, following the holographic map Father gave me. The atrium should be right through the kitchen. Even with how well I know this part of the station, I still worry about getting lost. I can't rely on my memory for anything these days. I sneak through the kitchen and end up right in front of the atrium's big glass doors. I plug father into another maintenance panel, and the atrium is unlocked. The atrium feels oddly peaceful at night. Unlike the rest of the station, the temperature controls stay on after lights out. I take a minute to stand right in the middle, absorbing whatever warmth lingers here before moving on.
All right, it should be a straight shot from here to the elevator. Just keep going forward as soon as the doors are open. Do you see any of the caretakers patrolling this section of the station?
I press my face up against the glass and peer into the darkness in front of me. It's hard to tell, but the hallway looks empty to me. The path is clear, sir. I'm ready. I plug father into the underside of the keypad that locks the exit to the atrium. It only takes a few seconds, but the doors slide open and I'm able to press onwards. This part of the station is entirely new to me. I check the map and see rooms that only exist as fragmented memories. Did Big Sister ever let me explore this far? I think she might have, but that was so long ago that it might as well have never happened. The doors here all seem to be locked, but father directs me towards the largest one.
Plug me into the keypad, and we can move to the next floor.
Do you think Mother will notice if the elevator starts moving?
I hadn't thought of that.
Father!
I think I know a workaround. In the code of the actual elevator, I could change the names of the individual floors. The security will report the same number, and the elevator won't look as if it's moved at all. It will go from floor 5 to another floor 5, or something like that.
Okay, I'm counting on that to work.
I'm like 99% sure that this will work. 94% at worst.
Father!
Holding my breath, I plug father into the elevator keypad. He beeps a few times, and then the large silver door slides open.
I already picked the destination. Just step in and enjoy the ride down.
So are we gonna see where Auntie grows the meat?
The doors close behind me, and the elevator begins to rumble. For a moment, I can feel a strange sort of weightlessness in my gut, but it ends before I can fully process what's going on. The doors open, and I'm struck by a sight beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I walk away from the elevator and find myself standing in a cavernous room even bigger than the atrium. Everywhere I look, there are plants. Not fake plants, but real living plants. Large hydroponic planters hang from every available section of ceiling, layered atop one another for maximum yield. The leaves are all crisp and green, with small nozzles installed in the rafters to periodically spray them with a cool mist. The air is humid, and the floor is covered with a metal mesh to act as one giant drain. The smell is overpowering and fantastic, like nothing I've ever experienced before. It smells so alive. I've read books about flowers, but nothing could prepare me for the gentle sweetness that drifts through the ventilated air down here. I can't put into words the joy that is spreading through my mind.
Did you make it into the greenhouse?
Oh, Father, if only you could see this right now. This is the most beautiful place in the entire station.
Don't get distracted. You are still in a restricted area. Stay alert, no matter what you see.
Fine, but I'm going to tell you all about this place as soon as we're safe.
I'm looking forward to it. Just focus on the task at hand.
I tear myself away from the greenery and keep moving. The planters are arranged rather chaotically, so I end up having to zigzag through them like a little maze. As I walk past, I get to see all sorts of new plants. There are whole rows of onions, celery, potatoes, rutabaga, carrots. Stomach is rumbling. Cabbage and dozens more I can't even name. My concentration completely shatters when I come across a row of the most incredible plants I have ever seen. I think it's that kind of fruit, but I don't know what it's called. The only textbooks I've read on plants didn't go into much detail about edible plants. Oh, there's a faint sugary scent coming from this fruit, and the skin looks so ripe that I worry it'll burst from the slightest touch. Before I know what I'm doing, I pluck one from its vine and take a bite.
Oh, she had her first strawberry.
Oh, so that's what food is supposed to taste like.
Fourth, what are you doing?
Father's words failed to reach me through the haze of utter bliss I now find myself in.
Oh,
I grab handfuls of the delicious fruit, stuffing them into my mouth 3 or 4 at a time.
Fourth, I don't think it's wise to be touching anything in the greenhouse. Auntie probably keeps a very close eye on the exact number of plants down here.
Just a few more, and then I'll stop. The fruit tastes sweet, and just a little tart. I figure out pretty quickly that the leaves don't have any flavor, and start spitting them out. It's a good thing that I'm escaping from here soon. I don't think I can eat anything from Auntie's kitchen ever again.
why? Why does she make the wax food if she's got this down here?
Fourth, I demand you stop eating at once.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what came over me. I've just never actually eaten anything that tastes good.
It's fine. Just make sure you don't leave any evidence behind.
I pick up the scraps I dropped on the floor and hastily bury them in the soft soil of a neighboring planter. Before I move on, I nab a few more and tuck them into my dress. A little snack for later can't hurt. I make my way out of the greenhouse into... There's another kitchen in here. It looks exactly like the one upstairs. Looking around, I notice that this kitchen is actually better stocked than the one upstairs. There are more pots and pans, and the stoves have real charring on the top.
This is probably where Auntie prepares the individual ingredients she loads into her food synthesizer.
It smells way better in here than it does upstairs. Is she secretly cooking good food without letting me taste any of it?
I wouldn't be surprised if she experiments with different recipes down here.
That still doesn't explain why she won't let me try any of her experiments.
Auntie's code is locked into hospice mode. She prioritizes pure nutritional intake over flavor.
Please tell me there's a way to change that code.
Nope. Your calorie intake is too high up on the priority list. Any changes would alert Mother almost immediately.
That's really disappointing. What swear word would work best right now?
Probably, shoot.
Shoot.
Enough joking around. The candle should be stored nearby. Check the cabinets.
I start rummaging around in this bizarre duplicate kitchen. Each cabinet is filled with frying pans, cooking pots, cutting boards, and Tupperware. Eventually, I open a drawer full of silverware and find my birthday candle locked inside a small glass tube. The tube itself is bolted to the bottom of the drawer. I found it, but I can't get it out. Is there any way to unlock this thing?
Yeah, anything sharp or flammable is considered a Class 2 material and needs administrative approval to access. There should be a console near the smoke detector. Plug me in and I'll have it open in no time.
I do as I'm told, and Father goes quiet while he hacks into the system. He seems to be taking a lot longer than normal, so I take a little time to explore my surroundings. It's strangely thrilling to be breaking the rules like this. I've never been this far into a restricted area before. My heart is beating fast, and while part of me wants to run away, I can't help but revel in this newfound freedom. I open a few more cabinets, examining the odd cooking implements Auntie has never used in front of me. There are metal devices in here that I don't even have a name for. I open the drawer right next to the one with the candle. There are more forks and spoons in this one, and...
Ooh, a knife.
Locked in a similar security tube is a large and shiny knife. The knife Auntie lets me use at dinner is dull and has a soft plastic tip, but this one is polished to a dangerous point that reflects the light back into my eyes. There is almost a strange beauty to the utensil, with a slight curve in the handle and the flat gleam of the actual blade. There is a tiny red light on the hilt that pulses like a heartbeat. It's the first time that I've seen a weapon. The whole station is made entirely of soft curves and padded corners. Something like this could hurt. The thought never occurred to me to arm myself. A knife wouldn't do anything to the metal frames of my caretakers, but Mother isn't made of just metal anymore. Father is still busy interfacing with the console, so I can't ask him about the knife. I know it's stupid, but I'm overcome with the urge to take it for myself. That'd be kinda hard to hide, though. Should I steal it? Or would it be safer to just ignore it? Father chirps back to life, and there's the smallest hint of panic in his voice.
Oh no! Let me just save my game real quick. Security is temporarily disabled. The second you grab it, run for the elevator. We don't have much time.
The tube securing the candle opens with a loud hiss of air. At the same time, I hear multiple hisses coming from several other drawers all around the kitchen. Father must have disabled all the Class 2 security glasses, including... The knife is just sitting there, right in front of me. If I'm fast enough, I could grab both the knife and the candle. I'm immediately brought back to reality. This is a bad idea, and Father sounded really frightened. I should just leave it. I know where it is now, so I could always come back if I really need it. But what if the time comes where I do need it, and I'm empty-handed?
Fourth, the alarm is about to trigger. Do you have the candle?
No, I don't want to take the risk. I'll take the candle.
I stare at my own hand, my fingers ready to curl around the handle of the knife. I don't know why, but I expected my hand to be shaking. Instead, my hand is completely still, frozen halfway to the knife. Unable to move my arm, I just take a few steps back. The bigger the distance between me and that knife, the more control I gain over myself. I let out a frustrated sigh and redirect myself towards the candle. What good would a knife do against something as big and horrible as Mother? I don't even think stabbing her would do anything. She'd just grow more of whatever I managed to cut out of her.
Exactly. Now, if we found a hammer or something...
Okay, Father, I have the candle.
Do we just have one candle for, the rest of my life?
Good. As soon as I reactivate the alarms, we can head back to the elevator and...
Oh, snap!
Red lights flash in the kitchen, and an alarm starts to blare in my ears. I hide the candle in my dress and grab Father from the console.
Okay, so I might have reactivated some subsystems in the wrong order. Not to worry, I only managed to trigger 3 of the 7 alarms, so...
Can you stop talking? We are running away now!
Got it. My bad.
I start running, making my way back into the greenhouse, the twisting rows of planters now forming an inescapable roadblock. I try to make my way around the planters, weaving left and right, just to make a few feet of progress. Once it becomes clear that I'm getting nowhere fast, I duck underneath the planters and start crawling on my hands and knees. As it turns out, crawling underneath the planters was the right idea. Not a moment later, a chute above me opens, and a familiar little robot comes flying into the greenhouse. Intruder detected. This area is off limits to all patients and crew. If cross-contamination is detected within food storage, all trespassers will be liable for Category 7 administrative punishment.
Auntie, no.
I can hear Auntie patrolling the greenhouse just over my head. Father said that the caretakers might have their own built-in motion and heat sensors, so I can't risk being caught by her. I crawl about halfway across the greenhouse and come out under a row of large hanging ferns. They hide me from view, just enough that I can get a good look at the path ahead of me. Auntie has come to a stop right in front of the exit of the elevator. She seems to be standing guard, her little body swiveling one way and then the other, like she's performing a scan on the entire room. I pull Father close to my face and whisper into his microphone as quietly as I can. Father, Auntie is blocking my way out. What should I do to get past her?
Auntie isn't built for security detail, so her only sensor should be...
It isn't until this moment that I realize just how loud Father's voice truly is. Auntie swivels around and begins floating directly towards my hiding place.
Aw, man.
I figured it out. Her primary sensor is noise. Stop talking. I clamp both hands around Father to silence him entirely as I duck back down onto the floor. I scramble away from Auntie, watching the pale pink glow of her screen cast shadows on the ground behind me. Auntie is hunting me based on sound, so my options are pretty limited. Either I make no sound at all, or I need to use loud sounds to lure her somewhere else.
Use loud sounds to lure her. Video game logic.
A little reluctantly, I pull out the handful of stolen fruits from my dress. I eat one for good luck, then hurl the others as hard as I can in the opposite direction of the exit.
Intruder detected. Please reveal yourself immediately and surrender without resistance.
Auntie sails past and begins searching on the far side of the greenhouse. I take advantage of this window and bolt for the elevator. The second I step into the elevator, Father sends it back up to the living quarters. My entire body aches from the effort, and I slide to the floor of the elevator to catch my breath. The adrenaline wears off, and I'm suddenly overcome with fear. What would have happened if Auntie found me? Being caught outside my room is one thing, but on an entirely different floor? Mother might just kill me on the spot if she found out. The run back to my bedroom is mercifully uneventful. Father opens the doors in and out of the atrium, and there seems to be no caretakers patrolling this side of the living quarters. I collapse onto my bed, holding the candle in both hands, as if I'm trying to confirm that it's real. I can't believe I got away after all that chaos.
Fourth, are you safe? Did you get the candle?
Yes, to both, sir.
I didn't get that sick knife, though. I hold up the candle in the air triumphantly. It's cold and sticky in my hands, and bits of old cake fall and hit me in the face.
Are you okay? You didn't hurt yourself, did you?
My knees hurt a little, but I'm feeling incredible right now. I tricked Auntie's sensors, and I got to eat real food for once. I hear Father make a noise that's halfway between a sigh and a groan.
Let's focus on what matters. We got the candle, and the bomb is fermenting. Regardless of what happened tonight, this counts as a win.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the escape plan? What do we do once the bomb is ready?
Well, when it's time, we're going to try and get to the elevator on the starboard side of the living quarters. We'll ride it down to the lower levels and try to get into one of the maintenance tunnels. There should be an opening near one of the replacement panels where we can plant the bomb. You'll break some of the wax off the candle, tie the wick to an exposed wire, and just walk away. The bomb will go off, triggering the emergency escape pods, and we'll use the tunnels to get you to the lowest section of the station. The only detail I still need to figure out is how to distract your caretakers. The moment the bomb goes off, they're going to try and trigger a lockdown. If we can keep them busy long enough, we can get you to the lower levels before the lockdown starts.
I'm sure you'll figure something out, Father. You've been able to figure out this much so far.
I appreciate your faith in me. We can come up with a solid distraction tomorrow night. You should take it easy until then.
I think that would be a good idea. I'm pretty tired right now. I'm just going to go to bed.
You need your rest. You did more than I could have ever done on my own. That's more than enough.
Good night, Father.
Sleep well, Fourth. I'll boot back up in the morning to check up on you.
His screen goes dark, and I tuck him away under the mattress. Another day is coming to an end, marking one of the strangest birthdays in recent memory. To be honest, it's the only birthday in recent memory, but I don't think any of them can compare to what I went through today. I go through my evening routine and try to ignore the bomb that's oxidizing in my bathroom. I get into my pajamas and lie down in my bed. I can do this. I know I can. Something is very wrong with my dream tonight. Before it even starts, I can taste iron in my mouth. My lake is infected. Tendrils of blood swirl around in the water like oil, refusing to mix fully. I can see golden creatures writhing below the surface, like long flatworms with wispy feelers growing out of their tails. I somehow just know that this is all my fault, I brought sickness upon the lake, tainted it just by association. I'm not worthy of my lake anymore. I'm like a walking cancer, a malignant curse given human form. Is this what really waits for me outside the station? Somewhere beautiful that will be corrupted the moment I arrive? This is the result of my own selfishness. How stupid do I have to be to think that I can outrun my own wickedness? By some form of mercy, the dream is cut short and replaced with a comforting darkness. There's nothing out here, just oblivion. I let my consciousness drift away into the void. I can feel the distinct sensation of waves rolling over me, rocking my body gently back and forth. This can't be my future. There has to be some way for me to live without infecting others. I wake up from my dream. For the first time in a long time, I'm actually happy that it ended. I simply hope that tonight's dream isn't a sign of what's to come. It must have been brought on by stress and nothing more. I keep telling myself that as I get up and get ready for my day. I get dressed, brush my teeth, and do my best to not gag at the horrible smell wafting up from the bomb.
Fourth, we don't have much time before your caretaker arrives.
I retrieve Father from under my mattress and hold him up so I can hear him better. The bomb will be ready by tonight, isn't that right?
Yes, this is going to be your last day aboard this station. By tomorrow morning, you're going to be light years away from Mother.
It's hard to believe that any of this is real.
Last night, I found a way to cause our distraction.
That's great. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm surprised by the conviction in my words. My lake is closer to me now than it ever has been before. I'm escaping tonight, no matter what stands in my way.
I was looking over the handful of data that remained before I was destroyed.
My confidence wavers a little, trying not to relive just how awful that day was. Bits and pieces still appear in my mind if I concentrate hard enough. I can see Father, standing in the doorway, his one red eye glowing so bright that I can't look him directly in the face. Mother is pleading. She's begging him not to. I don't exactly remember what she wanted Father to do. I shake off the memories and try to focus on what Father is telling me.
Most of the data from that day has been fully expunged. Mother probably wanted to hide whatever horrible things she did to me. But the moment I went offline, an error log was uploaded to all 3 of the other caretakers. There is something in their collective programming that we might be able to take advantage of. But I don't know if you'll be able to handle it.
I think it's better if you just tell me now. Don't drag it out any more than you need to.
When I was destroyed, the other caretakers' routines were thrown into an emergency shutdown mode. My role on this station was tied to certain everyday functions that all the other caretakers relied upon. They needed to know what I was going to do each day so they could adjust accordingly. All of my programmed responsibilities were characterized and divided up so the other caretakers could take over in my absence. By default, this delegation process puts them into a... Oh yeah, the 3rd alarm. Whoops, we gotta go.
The 3rd alarm plays, meaning that little brother is going to be outside my door any second. Hurry up, Father. Just tell me what I need to do today. What needs to happen before our escape tonight?
When one of the caretakers suffers irreparable damage, the others all shut down for exactly 1 hour to assimilate the damaged caretaker's routines into their own.
Oh. Do I have to hurt one of my friends?
There's an emergency feature to ensure none of the caretaker's functionality is unaccounted for. When one of them dies, the gap left behind needs to be filled.
What do you want me to do?
4th, Auntie, little brother, big sister, you're going to have to destroy one of them. It's the only way we can escape.
This man is overgasped!
This man is overgasped. This demo covers the first 3 acts of Mother's Favorite. This makes up about 1/3 of the total game. Oh boy. Thank you for playing. Oh no, I have to kill one of my family. Oh dear, oh no. Well, that was the demo for Mother's Favorite, and if you have interest in this game, there will of course be a link in the description to this game so you can follow the developer for any more development. I myself am very interested in this story, and I really would like to know what happens next, and oh no, I have to kill one of my friends. But even through all that, I'm still pretty sus about Father, and I don't know, he still seems like he's hiding something important. And I would love to know what you think about this game in the comments, so please, by all means, put a comment down there, and if you want to, you could also like the video, or subscribe if you so choose. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.